And welcome everybody back once again to the Super Liable Studios. We have reached the aftermath of WrestleMania as WWE brings forth their Backlash from St. Louis, Missouri. Welcome to the discussion. Hello everybody and welcome back once again to the Super Liable Studios. You know what this is? I am the Superman Noah Foster. With me as one of my cohorts and color analysts across all things wrestling, quite literally, as long as we've done this. James Hebert, again, thank you all for tuning in. Again, please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend as we bring you a blind reactions, alternative commentary to tonight's event, WWE Backlash. Of course, you can follow on the Peacock. But if you want to dictate the conversation, Super Chat or PayPal the Passions, it's as simple as that. I hope everyone has a good time. And please stick around after Backlash concludes for the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams. When he arrives, I might be put in the hot seat for that. Oh, good Lord, my life. That being said, James, it's good to see you. It's been a long time since you and I have called WWE as a duo. So how you feeling tonight about Backlash, man? How you been?
I'm feeling pretty damn good. Oh, nice Kill Switch Engage shirt by Damien Priest as we see him coming into the arena, by the way.
Exactly.
And he's rocking the purple. You gotta love it. I'm doing pretty good, man. I am looking forward to this event. For the 5 matches that they actually have lined up, it's very, very good. Everybody kind of knows lately, I think they need more than 5, but the 5 that they actually have on tap, holy shit. I mean, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, they got a pretty interesting lineup here. We got, of course, 4 championships on the line. We got a unique grudge bout that can really test contentment versus punishment. And, of course, we are on literally the final countdown as the last real champion of WWE looks to stop and seize the timeline as we know it in the Viper's hometown, to say the least, as he continues his way forward. So, yeah, it's a unique card. It's almost like Triple H, again, is trying to go back to that NXT TakeOver formula where less is enough, 5 or 6. Personally, I think 6 should suffice. You almost would think this is a Monday Night Raw. The fact there's only 1 match from SmackDown.
But I think 7. I think 7's actually the sweet spot for
pay-per-views. I agree. Yeah, and again, Backlash has always been one of those unique pay-per-views where it's always about aftermath, revenge, grudges, proving a point. It's the first stop on really the reset of the WWE season. Why we always talk about the calendar year starting in January. WWE truly tries to start over after WrestleMania. And considering the aftermath we've already faced with the Vision, John Cena now being the last real champion, the man, Becky Lynch, is back, and she wants to continue to create history at the expense of somebody she once called a friend, and Lyra right now trying to prove that I always made myself, you didn't make me. Jacob Fatu, of course, now the United States champion, and we got an eternal feud with that match coming forward with the fact we got Fatal 4-Way action. It's a very unique card, and Gunther, once again, not a champion. What do you do with a man who's been over 90% of his career? Here we have him facing Pat McAfee tonight, and Pat McAfee, I don't believe has been involved in a match, and you could probably correct me on this, since probably SummerSlam with Baron Corbin.
Yeah, it's been a long time for Pat, and I got to tell you, I'm honestly, other than the main event, for obvious reasons, because I grew up with those guys fighting all the time.
Right?
Yeah, man, I am looking forward to this the most, I think, because they built this up so fucking well. We know how good Pat is in the ring, too. I've been saying and have just been preaching for years that he should not just be a commentator. This dude should be a top star in the company because he's that damn good. Trained by Rip Rogers. We know how good he is at training these guys. Pat McAfee is a freaking freak athlete. And he's going up against Gunther. They got a nice blood feud going on. The Michael Cole aspect is really going to be interesting with that. They really built this up brilliantly. Like really, really, really good. Overall, really looking forward to this, I think, the most out of anything. That's not to say I'm looking forward to nothing else on the card, but as far as Pat McAfee goes, going up against Gunther, they build these two up like brilliantly. You know how good, we knew how good Walter is, right? We knew how good he was for years. But you look at this match, you could show the graphic up real quick.
I'm going to share it. Continue talking because this is a great preview. I'm loving your take. Please continue.
Yeah. When you look at Gunther, you always think of him as a champion. What are you going to think here when you see him without a champion? And I think that was going to be the big test. He has already proven that he is a 5-tool player right out of the gate, out of his championship streak, basically. Gunther is amazing. He is Hall of Fame bound. And how long has he been in the WWE?
Prior to the pandemic, honestly, I mean, he trailblazed onto NXT UK at NXT UK Takeover Blackpool. So I believe, if my math serves me right, it was 2018. You would know because also NXT Takeover New York is when he arrived and won, of course, the NXT UK Championship from.
I was there.
That was WrestleMania 35. So literally, he's now been part of WWE for 6 years.
Yep, I have seen him from the very beginning of his WWE career. Fantastic the whole way through. He's always been a champion. He debuted his first match. He won a championship. He has not, I think, some crazy statistic, like 89% of his run in WWE has been a championship run. So when you look at that statistic, and now you look at what he's doing outside of a championship run for the first time, I think, in his entire career, it shows that this dude is not just a one-trick pony when it comes to, oh, if I have a championship, that's why I'm a Hall of Famer. He just proved that he's a GOAT. He is a Hall of Famer for sure. Pat, in his own right, is too. He's definitely in the celebrity wing, if nothing else. These two are going to have a banger. I'm looking forward to it.
I feel like, honestly,
Walter is winning. Walter is winning for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be one of those things where the statement is made during the match versus the result. But it's going to be a very painful message that Gunther is going to send in a way that Pat McAfee might have re-inspired him in the worst way, talking about that you've gotten content. You, of course, wanted this dream. You achieved it. You literally have been the guy for so much of your career that you're over it at this point. You got complacent. That's why people like Sami Zayn and Jey Uso have beaten you. Ilya Dragunov beaten you. But it's one of those things right now where if Gunther is going to prove a point that he still is one of the most complete athletes in the game, and you don't take him lightly, even if you have an opinion, he's got to slaughter Pat McAfee. And I think we're going to literally see somebody leave on a stretch tonight here in St. Louis. But to me, this is a sleeper match because we know the capabilities of Gunther, but I don't think, to your point, we know the full potential of Pat McAfee. And I think that's what Pat wants to prove tonight and pull out of Gunther. In a way, it's going to be one of those things, baptism by fire. And for Michael Cole, he might need to work with Joe Tessitore for the short run after this. So good luck, Pat. You're going to need it. But again, there's a reason why Gunther says the mat is sacred. And this is definitely my sleeper match of the night. And Matthew, Dwayne, and Safed, it's good to see you all in the chat.
Yes.
Matthew's saying that Pat needs to leave on the stretcher. And again, how many power bombs is it going to take? How much is Michael Cole going to stay behind the booth and not get involved here? The whole idea of the Michael Cole, to your point, with Michael Cole showcasing his personality towards his friend and separating personal from professionalism as much as he can, that's going to be the telltale of this match.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely going to be one of those sleeper clinics. Of course, we have, again, like you said, a very unique card, nice little balance pay-per-view. And of course, as we look at the preview of this next match, let's talk a little bit about the WWE Intercontinental Championship. As of course, Dominik Mysterio is going into his second defense tonight against Penta El Cielo Miedo. Of course, we know that Dominik won this in Fatal 4-Way after pinning Finn Balor of the Judgment Day, as he's backstage right now with Byron Saxton. And yes, Penta and Dominik, it has happened before, folks, but you got to consider Backlash sometimes. You're going to run it back because of how visceral maybe that the feuds have become. And the feud itself is not the match. I think the feud is with Judgment Day, because I still think Finn Balor has his eyes set that he wants to prove not only he should be Intercontinental champion, but he, quote unquote, is the leader of Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dwayne, I think that's fair. Now, you and I both know that there's a fair shot that Dominik's going to have a decent run with this. It's the Workhorse Championship.
Yep.
I mean, JJ's gone to bat for this man, saying he's one of the biggest workhorses in WWE history this past calendar year. So it's one of those things where I just wonder, again, does Finn Balor get involved? Do we further that? Or do we somehow see Dominik and Penta have a legit one-on-one match and Dominik pin him clean?
Oh, I doubt it's going to be clean, but he is going to beat Penta How, we will see. I think it's going to take us a bit here, as you know, not for nothing, right? But like you look at who these two are. I think it's a perfect matchup. I think it's definitely a person. They've been building this feud up for the better part of since Elimination Chamber, or like right around Elimination Chamber, because they did a press scrum before the event, and he was talking shit to Penta. Penta came up and started talking shit back. So they've been going at it for a bit now, and this is their first one-on-one contest.
Since April, literally, because let's not forget, literally, this is a ran-back match prior to WrestleMania.
This is true. So this is their first pay-per-view match, I believe.
Correct.
So yeah, it's gonna be huge for Dominik. This is his second championship singles title. Yep. I'm looking forward to it, man. I think Dominik's got a hell of a future. The hope is we get to see him, kind of elevate his peers, his Latino peers. Hopefully, we get to see more matches like a Penta, maybe like a Rey Fenix, maybe see Dragon Lee, Angel Garza, please. Please. Yes.
The Brand Split LOL. Andrade. Fudge it.
Yeah, honestly, I'd love to see him in Andrade. There's a lot of different things that we could do here. It should be interesting to see how these two go at it here. Definitely a big fight field type of match here with these two.
Well, definitely. And of course, the Intercontinental Championship has always been that workhorse championship. So I'm sure we're going to get quite a Lucha Libre clinic, especially teasing Worlds Collide with the recent AAA acquisition. Odds of Balor costing Dom, little to none, because I think they're going to draw that out. You got to remember, we are in the reset period. The next big stop is SummerSlam, the first ever 2-night SummerSlam. I think that's where they're finally going to run down Mysterio versus Finn Balor. For all we know, that's going to define not only the future of the Intercontinental Championship, but the future of the Judgment Day as we know it, especially with JD McDonough recently coming back, where JD McDonough might have to make a choice. We heard backstage how Dominik Mysterio was talking about how JD coming back in and Helmet during that match, it was Dom's idea. So again, Dom's already been making moves as we been talking about here as of late. So again, watch out for Finn Balor and the tensions rising, because JD McDonough might turn on him before Dominik Mysterio stabs him in the back, legitimately.
It'll be the Irish. It's going to be the Irish versus the Latinos.
Totally. This just feels like a really offshoot GTA video game. Despite the fact GTA 6 got delayed till next year. All right.
well, you get GTA 6 early with Dominik and.
And it won't be in Vice City. I cannot wait for that fucking game. I also cannot wait for, you know what I mean? This fatal 4-way for the WWE United States Championship. You want to talk about a match that can really steal the night? All the dolls are going to be out fighting here. We got Drew McIntyre, Damien Priest, LA Knight. Yeah. So I got 17 minutes and 6 seconds on my clock. Of course, Backlash is looming, folks. And of course, the new WWE United States Champion, his first defense tonight in the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. I'm pretty sure I've said verbatim that this guy has it. And he proved it in WWE when he was let off the leash, all gas, no brakes, given a mic, and everyone learned exactly what he means with what he says. We saw him, of course, beat LA Knight at WrestleMania, and of course, the embrace with Haku was a touching moment. But I do wonder, again, thinking about family tensions and trust. So, of course, confronting Nick Aldis about this. Does he have Jacob Fatu's best interests out there, or is it still best interest for him to prove that he still should be acknowledged in his own way as the tribal chief? And does Jacob Fatu still look at him in that same realm of respect? Not to mention, James, we have that feud with Drew McIntyre and Damien Priest very much still at an all-time high that could play out in this match. So what do you think about this 4-way field? And again, Champion does not be involved in decisions. Odds are extremely stacked against him.
I will say this much. If there was a way to get the belt off of Jacob Fatu early because of the story they're building, this match is it. Solo could cost him here. I think there's more chance of Solo costing him here than Finn Balor costing Dominik the IC title this early. They've been building that up for a while. They've been building up that tension since the War Games loss. For me, I think McIntyre is going to take it.
Really?
I really think McIntyre is going to take it. Yeah.
Wow.
Because there's too many factors at play for Jacob to lose, for Jacob to retain. I really do feel McIntyre could win it here as a way of, hey, you've done so much for us. Here's the U.S. title. Make something of this, type of deal. I love Jacob. That's not to say that I don't think Jacob has big things and championship deals going for him. He will eventually. It's just for me, I feel there's a couple of reasons why I say that. Number one, there's a bigger story at play with him and Solo, and they're going to play that out, and they want to start that program before SummerSlam comes around. Right. And we're actually not too far away from SummerSlam because remember, WrestleMania was late this year, folks. So for me, start that program early. You got about a couple and a half month period before SummerSlam. You want to get that ball rolling here. So I think Solo turns on Jacob. McIntyre wins the title as a result.
Well, I mean, the consensus, according to the predicting and a lot of the community, by the way, shout out to the 58 of you that are, of course, continuing your way for the WWE PLE Predictions Leagues. Good luck to all of you, and thank you for your submissions. They are now final as entry is closed. Majority was actually going with, including me. I think Jacob Fatu, again, it's a testament to how well of a character he is, how well he connects with the universe, but also reset the United States title that LA Knight brought to such an echelon. If anyone needs to eat the fall here and get away from the United States Championship, all due respect, I think LA Knight's going to be the one to eat the decision, and I think that Jacob Fatu is going to be the guy to repeat what he did at WrestleMania with him. I think, though, Drew McIntyre and Damien Priest are going to continue their feud, shades of what happened last year. They're going to come out with a trilogy of sorts. I think this year, Damien Priest is going to be the crutch to McIntyre, and I think the tensions that are spilling over WrestleMania is going to cause both of those men. Again, in triple threats, I say but for a fall person. Here you have an extra component that's going to lead into another feud. I'm not even thinking about Solo Sikoa or Tama Tonga at this point. So it's one of those things right now that I just don't see Jacob Fatu losing this in what is literally his first defense. I can understand your point, though, where I think Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, of course, had a one-on-one confrontation recently. And that could be a different match down the line, but I think Jacob Fatu is going to hold on to this United States Championship.
You could do it that way too, where Solo challenges for the U.S. title. I could see that, but my thing is this: he doesn't need a title. He needs feuds that are main event level in caliber, which this Solo feud can be because it's Jacob. To build him up to a world title. That's my thing. I think he's already ready for the world title, Jacob Fatu, personally.
Wow.
But obviously they have a lot going on here. But so what you need to do is you need to put him in main event caliber storylines, which this shit with Solo could be, especially if Solo brings in Hikuleo like Wesley's suggesting, and then obviously rumors of Jeff Cobb could join the bloodline. Just saying, Bronson Reed can make his return, help out Solo. There's a lot of factors at play with those players, right? In the bloodline. I don't think you can have him with the US title unless the plan is okay, Solo's going to dethrone Jacob Fatu at SummerSlam because of Hikuleo and all these people. But if you want to kind of get the ball rolling, I think you don't want to necessarily step off the gas. I'd step full throttle on the gas and have him lose the title early and be costed. And, keep in mind, McIntyre was helping out Solo at one point. Favors are a thing. Yeah, Solo still kind of owes McIntyre a fucking favor. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, that's fair, but we've also seen how well favors have worked out. Even Paul Heyman talked about it Monday Night Raw with the Vision. So, just saying, maybe favors should not come into play tonight, but that's a whole different story. But speaking of favors,
I'm right. I'm in the right.
That is one of the most impassionate promos I've ever heard from Paul Heyman in my
It was
life.
incredible. I loved and you know what? Everything he said, who said it? It was me first before he said it. I knew that was where he was going to go. And this is why I am a Heyman guy. I will forever be a Heyman guy. He is right. God damn it.
And to all and Matt, good to see you. And to all the people that say he's not, screw you and screw each other away for booing, but that's a different conversation. But going to Monday Night Raw, talking about who's right, who's wrong, who's their own person. Let's talk about the only women's contest on this card tonight, as Becky Lynch, the man, looks to take Lyra Valkyria WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. And of course, we know the story of these two goes all the way back to Dublin Iron before Aloy Valkyrie was a WWE superstar in NXT UK. Yes. She first saw Becky Lynch in a school class. She got into wrestling after that. She fought her way from independence, found her way to WWE through NXT UK, has been in battles with the likes of Michael Santamora, who's now retired, arigato. And of course, she won her first championship when she came forth to NXT against the man Becky Lynch. She beat her for the NXT Women's Championship. Since then, being drafted last year, might I add, she has been a mainstay name on the Monday Night Raw scene, making it to the finals of the Clean the Ring tournament last year, and of course, creating history, being Dakota Kai, sorry folks, becoming the inaugural WWE Women's Canal Champion, and has so far been champion now for nearly 120 days, going into her fifth defense with wins over Bayley, Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, and Dakota Kai in a follow-up rematch. And of course, this might stem literally just from jealousy or envy on Becky Lynch's behalf. Despite the fact she's accomplished everything and made history, she was not the first one to make history with this championship. And now she's out to prove a point where she wants to make sure that Lyra has always been where she thought she's been. Second, while Lyra looks to keep Becky Lynch as second place when it comes to this title. What's been your thoughts on Becky Lynch's return and this title match and Lyra's run? Again, she's been the inaugural workhorse for this women's title, and I think she's definitely lived up to the billing. But do you think Becky beats her this time and gets her win back?
My thing is this. It was rushed. Why was it rushed? Because unless the answer is you turned Becky Lynch heel and have her turn on her tag partner this early on, unless the answer is, well, she's about to join Paul Heyman's new alliance,
the Vision,
what are we doing? That's going to be the question here.
Hold
I'm
on,
hoping
got another question for you, because you got to think about another element that might come into play here. Remember what Becky Lynch said she did? She attacked Bayley. It was supposed to be Bayley and Lyra at WrestleMania. The man took that moment away from Bayley, and then the man lost the titles literally the following night and blamed Lyra for it.
Yeah, I mean, Becky's getting it. That's the thing. I feel like Becky's getting it because I feel like there's a bigger element. I feel like there's bigger elements at play here. I think this vision that's going on is going to get beefier. There's going to be more members added to this alliance. It's obviously, that's the thing. This is Dangerous Alliance 2.0. Who is involved in it, we don't know. And I'm hoping one of them is Becky, because it wouldn't make sense that you turn Becky heel and not have her join up with her boyfriend, considering that if you remember 2019, that actually got shoot heat. So why not reinvigorate that and try to make that into some kayfabe heat? I'm just saying, like, work with what you have there. So it depends. If we'll see if Heyman gets involved here. Either way, we know it's going to be a good match because we've seen them have banger for the NXT title. I think Becky wins it one way or the other. I don't think Lyra's champion for long.
There's a reason why I like working with you, James, on a consistent basis during watch-alongs, predictions, and just chats and wrestling in general, because I disagree with you. I think it's one of those things where if we're going to do what they basically did with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, you got to let the new generation sink or swim on their own, and Lyra has soared to heights since being part of Monday Night Raw. She's been one of the better draft call-ups since last year, being perfectly honest. She's done more than Carmella Hayes and the Dragunov, and the Dragunov has been injured for half this time. And I think Lyra has to prove a point here to really step out of the man's shadow once for all by winning this. I think there is a bigger feud that people would focus on in Becky Lynch versus Bayley, but it doesn't need a championship. And why Lyra right now has been trailblazing her own way with this title, I think it should continue for the duration. It's one of those things also where in championship matches, we don't necessarily need to see a clean finish here because Becky might just try and embarrass Lyra if she thinks she can't beat Lyra. How desperate is Becky Lynch for this win versus the fact that Lyra knows she can beat the man? It's one of those things where it's a battle of pride versus the title more than anything else. And I think Lyra is going to still leave with the championship. I also think Bayley's going to return and seek revenge. I think JJ put it best, or someone that I can remember. This could lead to a triple threat where the feud with Bayley and Becky both might want the title, both might want to prove they're better than the other, the nonstop four horsemen of our NXT, constantly going to bat against each other, and Lyra basically proving that I'm better than both of you. I'm not an afterthought. Shades what Io Sky's become on Monday Night Raw. Either way, I got Lyra retaining.
I will say this though. Here's my thing. I agree with all that. But the thing, this is my big thing.
Over it.
The Intercontinental title for the women needs a serious boost before you can start building stars. And I feel like putting it on an established star, whether it's the first or second champion, brings credibility to said new championship. So that's kind of my idea with that. That's why I'm thinking you go with Becky, especially if she's going to join with the Heyman Alliance. You want to go with that. You want to go with her because it will add credibility and you can build a star to dethrone her that is a newcomer. Roxanne Perez, because that's probably the best you're going to get to freaking AJ Lee if she does join the Heyman Alliance, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Roxanne Perez with Lyra Valkyria to run back what they stood and deliver back in 2024. Right. And I think, honestly, that should be the next feud for this title, especially since it looks like Roxanne and Julia, they're on their way to Monday Night Raw.
That's fair. But before we run out of time, they are getting the commentators out of here, so we might want to predict the main event at least very quickly.
Well, it's one of those things where I don't think a prediction's needed on the result, but it's more so the aftermath. But I do agree. You did talk about how special this was, especially to you, considering how long these two have defined our childhood, our fandom in WWE. And now this is their final encounter. One last time, it's John Cena versus Randy Orton. I'll go ahead and let you spearhead this. To your point, Wade Barrett made his way to commentary. Plus, you know they're going to do the cold opening. So, bro, we got time. But James, what do you think here, considering this is their near 80th time they've been in the ring somehow with each other, whether together or against one another, and this is truly the last time forever?
It's crazy that I am calling this final match. Like, I've been seeing these two fight since 2007. SummerSlam was their first pay-per-view encounter. Technically, the first pay-per-view encounter was a promo back in SummerSlam 04. It was right before Ring of Honor, Randy Orton won the Ring of Honor World title. Listen, won the World Heavyweight title from Chris Benoit. And it was huge. Like, it was a huge moment, like, as a kid. Like, I've seen these two basically interact with each other since then, since 2004. So for them to actually close this chapter forever, and I swear I've seen every single one of these matches, even when I wasn't watching full time.
Well, that being said, I'll let you pause your thoughts. We, of course, give respect to our country. So, folks, please listen.
Yes. So do I talk while you give respect? I assume we're not talking. I don't know. Nice. Very good voice. By the way, folks, we know Cena's winning, but still, history. Absolute history.
Accurate.
Damn. Yeah, this guy's great.
Dang, he can hold a note.
Yeah, he really can. This is really good. Very good. Very good. Very good.
That
Very
was
good.
a tremendous rendition of our national anthem.
That was very good. Very, very good.
And that being said, before we talk a little bit more, and we're going to definitely talk more about that throughout the night, because that's going to be definitely a story of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking virtually live at the city skyline that is St. Louis, Missouri. As of course, we are in the home of the Ark. Welcome to WWE Backlash, the home of the Viper, Randy Orton, and welcome to the nice presentation, courtesy of the Super Reliable Studios. Hello, everybody, and welcome back here once again. I hope that you all enjoy the conversation, reaction, discussion. Noah Foster, James Hebert is the color analyst for tonight, WWE. The longtime duo originally of commentary for wrestling is back together once again. And we hope you all enjoy the discussion. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, as we got Pat McAfee coming in here. And again, if you want to dictate the conversation, Super Chat or PayPal, the package is as simple as that. It's good to see all the regulars, the newcomers, the stalkers, the followers, the casuals, the hardcores in the chat. And of course, there we see the lean general Gunther making his way into the building, and Lyra Valkyria looking to put the man in the back door once and for all, proving that she is her own woman defending the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. And so much more to come here, James, as Becky Lynch makes her way in the building. All the stars will be out this evening, folks, in St. Louis, Missouri. James, it should be a very interesting night as we look at the aftermath that was WrestleMania 41.
Yep. It's going to be a huge, huge night tonight. It's always been a huge type of event, especially for that man. First time he made his statement victory was at this very event against Cactus Jack in 2004. So this event, very synonymous with the Viper.
As, of course, they now do their cold open, which, of course, allows us, again, to bring you all in. For those that don't know, here's your card real quick. You have Penta, Cena versus Dominik Mysterio for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Gunther versus Pat McAfee one-on-one in a grudge match. The man, Becky Lynch, challenges Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Fatal four-way action with Jacob Fatu defend the title against LA Knight. Yeah. Damien Priest, Andrew McIntyre, and of course our main event, John Cena, Randy Orton, one last time for the undisputed WWE Championship. And again, James, you were subtly talking about this unique cycle that we have in what truly feels like what was going to be a fight forever. Here's the last fight altogether with these two. Please go ahead and continue your thoughts real quick while they run this cold opener.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, man, these two are, going to really make this the last great match I think that they'll have. Let's hope. I really do feel like they're just going to kick the shit out of each other. I will still say that no matter what, even with this match, because it is a singles match, their best match ever was Breaking Point 09.
Accurate. I quit. Yep.
Oh, such a good match. So I don't think anything is going to come that close. Maybe their second best was another step, Hell in a Cell, probably. I think that was 2014.
Yeah, it was a number one contendership match. And, of course, Randy Orton lost that night.
Yeah, so, so Randy Orton lost both those times. So I don't think tonight's going to be his night either, but I do feel like John Cena is going to win the championship. It's just going to be a hard-fought matchup between the two. So,
well, it's going to be a hard-fought night all night long as we get the pyro and we get ready to go as WWE Backlash is live across the world on Peacock and internationally on Netflix. So, everybody, let's freaking go and welcome once again into WWE Backlash. Look at that audience.
Yeah, it's a big audience for St. Louis, I'll tell you. They are rocking and raring to go tonight. First time we've had Backlash in the stateside in over 2 years, my friend.
And we'll see how well this audience takes in tonight's activities.
And wow, they have the live loud. I don't know if that's accurate, but it feels like it. The minute LA Knight's music hit, the crowd goes boom. LA Knight is here. Yeah.
The air is full of Kavorka and one's loins are tingling for the megastar with everybody saying L.A. Knight as we kick things off with the WWE United States Championship. What a way to kick things off here, James. The only match that's not one-on-one. Fatal four-way action, of course. Champion does not be involved in the decision. And LA Knight, of course, is the former two-time United States champion who lost to the Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania 41 after beating Shinsuke Nakamura earlier this year.
Yep, and there's been a lot of time for LA Knight to try to get that championship back. I don't think he was ever expecting in a million years that he was going to be in a fatal four-way match, but evidently here we are as we get a shot at the commentators here. LA Knight, Michael Cole, and Wade Barrett. Yes, that's and that will be a story for later tonight, especially with a wrestler. I mean, at this point, Wade Barrett not only going to be a commentator, but probably going to have to play fucking bodyguard for Michael Cole tonight.
He's also played voice of reason, though, many a times for many conflicts on SmackDown. So, honestly, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if it wasn't for him, I think Drew McIntyre was pretty close to being fired. Of course, St. Louis is fired up here tonight. You see the eyes of LA Knight. He wants that title back. We, of course, saw recently on Friday Night SmackDown in tag team action against Jacob Fatu and the Bloodline that the megastar was able to get the better of the champion. We'll see if that plays in favor tonight.
Well, tonight we know that this guy is very determined. He wants a singles title in the worst way possible. Last time he held a singles championship was all the way back at WrestleMania 40 for all of 10 minutes. This man's been itching to get a championship ever since then. His feud with Punk, legendary, will go down in the annals of WWE history. But tonight, he's looking to reclaim gold. And honestly, here's another thing. Looking to become a Grand Slam champion. If he's able to do this, he will actually beat his compadre Sheamus, a guy he's been able to call a friend and a foe for over 20 years. If he's able to beat everybody here tonight, he will become a Grand Slam champion before Sheamus does, and that's got to feel pretty good for his ego.
And also, to add to his ego, Drew McIntyre just beat LA Knight recently in a number one contendership match that allowed him to be part of this field. Originally, it was not supposed to be a fatal four-way, but thanks to the tensions that Drew McIntyre has with Damien Priest, despite the fact he beat him at WrestleMania 41, we now find the champion with a 25% chance to come out still retaining.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line for that man right now. You got to imagine pressure is riding high on the Scottish psychopath, but I don't think he'd like it any other way.
One thing for sure, this is a whole different mindset versus last year for Drew McIntyre, where CM Punk took his moment. Damian Priest might be the one that tries to take his moment. He's been blaming Damian Priest for the entire duration of 2025, ever since the Royal Rumble, where really you can say that both Priest and LA Knight eliminated Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. And considering what's been going on with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, you got to imagine, is Drew McIntyre involved in that mix? There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now that we are not privy to. And you got to imagine if that somehow plays a factor into this matchup. And oh boy.
About to say, all rise. For the guy that was literally brought out by Slayer at WrestleMania. That was a moment in itself.
Yeah,
former El Campeon, to your point. And also a man familiar with this championship, former United States champion, by the way, Damien Priest.
Saw this man debut in Best in the World 2017. He has been on a tear ever since. Probably the fastest rising old generation star since Diamond Dallas Page, DDP. And in a very similar fashion to that man, won his first world championship 7 years into the game.
And Damian Priest, of course, coming off that loss though at WrestleMania to Drew McIntyre, though.
Yep. But I'll tell you this much. Former United States champion in his own right as well. Damian Priest knows what it takes to win that championship, especially in fatal four-way encounters like this. This is not his first rodeo.
And of course, Damian Priest been doing things on his own, standing out from the Judgment Day since moving to SmackDown, while his territory Rhea Ripley still brings brutality on Monday Night Raw. It almost makes me wonder, though, will Damian Priest find solace in winning the United States Championship, and whoever he pins, or will he only focus on trying to beat Drew McIntyre for it?
That's a very good point. I mean, there's a lot of bad blood between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre after that Mania match, where they absolutely beat the shit out of each other. No hyperbole needed.
Yeah, one of the damnedest street fights we saw in Sin City, and that's saying something considering what went down that weekend.
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot that happened. Only thing that probably topped out was Atticus Cogar versus Fuego that night.
And of course, Fuego del Sol, he went heel, but that's a whole different conversation. Stay tuned, folks, because our coverage of wrestling shows is not laying up anytime soon. Of course, we'll see you later on next week for also AEW Beach Break, reality wrestling, and so much more. So please stay tuned for more on that.
Yes, it's going to be a fully loaded week this week because we actually were able to make it happen. So,
speaking of making things happen, here comes somebody that's been making things happen ever since he, in his words, he's all gas, no brains, been let off the chain. Here comes the champion. There's a werewolf out in St. Louis tonight, James.
Yeah, the Samoan werewolf.
Oh, boy.
Former MLW World Champion, current United States Champion, Jacob Fatu, making his way down the ring. Yeah, I know what I mean.
And making his way down the way, to your point, down the ring by himself. To your point, Jacob Fatu beat LA Knight at WrestleMania 41 in convincing fashion with a couple of vicious moonsaults. This guy literally, who was let out of prison at one point, a felon reformed, now is the United States champion, wearing around his neck like a literal dog collar.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
But again, it's one of those things also, he has not been pinned, he has not been submitted, he's not even been defeated in any capacity. We've seen this man destroy monsters and last man standing.
No, and that's the scariest bit of this. He is that dangerous. He has not been pinned or submitted in any capacity for a very long while here. Ever since he's debuted on WWE, he has been on a damn tear. The only match he has lost wasn't even because of him. It was because of that man, Solo Sikoa, that he's been kind of having a weird-ass relationship with ever since.
And of course, we saw originally during Cody Rhodes' run as the WWE champion, there was a competition at one point where Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu might go one-on-one. There you see the WWE United States Championship being hoisted up by the referee, a title that goes all the way back to 2003.
Yep. Bell rings for me, at least.
And of course, the original title back in 1974, bell rings. We are underway.
Alrighty.
We'll see tonight. We get a brand new United States champion, our opening contest. All four corners. Again, folks, championships only change hands. We have pinfall submission inside the ring. Count squad counts mean nothing. There's no disqualification. Shout out to Jackie Ram and Alicia Taylor, Michael Conway Barrett, the correspondents tonight for WWE.
Yep. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, here we go, James. You knew it was going to be a tale of two matches, bro.
Yep, exactly. Jamie and Priest, Drew McIntyre immediately going after each other. Remember, no disqualification here in this matchup. It is a fatal four-way match. Therefore, every rule book in a match type like this thrown out the window.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things where if you focus on one opponent for too long outside the ring, you might miss your opportunity to actually win where it matters, because pinfalls does happen inside the ring. Jacob Fatu following in, LA Knight got out of the corner of the big splash. Oh, and chasing down the net breaker.
Yep.
And now Damien Priest hoisted up by LA Knight, taken down.
Oh boy.
Not the first time we've seen LA Knight compete, to your point, in fatal four action for a championship. Let's not forget Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. He was in the ring with the Tribal Chief for the undisputed W Universal Championship. Nice slingshot shoulder tackle, sunset flip, goes for the cover. It turns into a backstabber instead. LA Knight is rolling right now.
Yeah, he is. Nice scoop and a slam.
The megastar wants his gold back. LA Knight's to find that United States Championship now for the better part of a year and a half.
Yeah, he has.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Priest. And LA Knight. DDT!
Got all of that one.
And Knight
now
is
look
so
at this.
focused
Uh-oh.
here.
Oh, no!
Whoa.
Double elbow!
I think he only caught one elbow. He caught Drew McIntyre in the torso. Shout out to Commander Get Wrestling, JJ Williams in the chat. What's up, bruv? And reverse DDT, and LA Knight is rolling. Here's the cover of Fatu, and didn't even get a one count.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. He knows what the heck is going on. He knows what he's doing.
I would say right now that LA Knight has the best game plan. He's focused on everybody here. Oh, but Jacob Fatu again. The fact that Jacob Fatu can take damage and literally come back within an instant, it seems, makes him so dangerous.
Yep. Oh, Jesus. And now look at this. Uh-oh.
Whoa!
Oh, total elimination! Uppercut, spinning wheel kick combo.
We've also should mention, James, sometimes in these multi-person matches, you do get unique alliances. Eliminate a target, it improves your chances to win the title.
Yeah, you do. That's the thing here, and it looks like both the babyface. Well, that alliance was short-lived.
Wow!
Jesus, what a belly-to-belly by Drew McIntyre. Scottish psychopath on a rampage. Nice spine buster.
Now Drew McIntyre trying to take control of the field, takes LA Knight down with a net breaker, and Drew McIntyre takes Priest down with a net breaker. Now the Scottish psychopath's in control of this match. Swing and a miss, and Fatu caught with a net breaker. Everyone gets a net breaker for their trouble.
Yeah, they do.
And I know that we talked about before how Pat McAfee and Gunther might be sleeper match of the night. This is already a set on the pace of top that shit.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They have a chip on their shoulder here.
Whoa!
Ooh, what a clothesline.
He was looking for that Claymore, and to your point, LA Knight set him with a clothesline. Super kick for Fatu, rocks the Megastar. Now Damien Priest slow to stagger to his feet. They inherit a problem with a fatal four-way. You got multiple bodies at the same time just barraging each other.
Yeah, that's the thing with the fatal four-way match. You gotta have eyes in the back of your head at all times. And there is Damien Priest. Nice Hurricane Rana from the top onto the Samoan Werewolf.
And Damien Priest looks at LA Knight with a jumping flatliner. And now Priest, where he's going here around ringside, the step back sandal to Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, crowning him.
LA Knight right now, Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre in a vulnerable state for the Punisher at WWE. Damien Priest catching Jacob Fatu again with a vicious high kick. You talked about before how he gives you shades of Diamond Dallas Page with his championship pedigree. Let's not forget who he really idolizes, going old school here, like The Undertaker.
Jesus, there's the old school.
Swinging a miss by Jacob Fatu and Damien Priest. What? God, walking out with a lariat.
Yeah, he did. Man, he just turned him inside out, upside down.
And a jumping elbow strike, Nathan Banks. Good to see you. And G Collision, appreciate your comments here. I mean, you did talk about again, though, Jacob Fatu, how he ran roughshod in MLW with the Contra unit. Oh!
Yeah, he is definitely he's definitely no stranger to being vicious, especially if you're trained by the Contra unit.
And of course, if you're trained by Contra unit, you also know how to literally keep everybody in your crosshairs. Know your 6, your 12, and your 9. Now, Damien Priest looking to follow up again. Jacob Fatu. Oh, my God!
Oh, my Lord!
On the top of the barricade.
That was horrific. That was a hell of a landing.
I think it would have been better if he crushed him through the side of it, because there's no give across the top of that.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. That was horrific. That was a horrific landing. Jacob Fatu now. Oh, man. Devious intentions. And look at these two now. Jacob Fatu.
I want this one on
McIntyre.
I want this one-on-one, James. I don't know about you.
I do, too.
Taking on everybody here. Took on everybody his whole life, whether MLW or behind bars. Jacob Fatu is afraid of nobody.
No, he ain't.
No back down from either of these men, either of these incredible wrestlers.
Nope. No back down in the slightest.
All gas, no brakes. And right now, both these men are parked eye to eye with each other.
Yeah, that's not good. I'll tell you that right now.
Just start your engines and hit the green light already. Let's get it on.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh!
Boom. Here we go.
Here we go. McIntyre, Jacob Fatu trading bombs in the middle of the ring. It's just a matter of who's going to literally trade that last haymaker.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's simple, but it's effective. I'll tell you that right now.
And again, everyone's got a plan so they get punched in the mouth. Jacob Fatu right now, staggered. McIntyre with a throat thrust, though. Stuns the Samoan Werewolf for a second. Well, God, Fatu just runs through him. And watch McIntyre, though, hoist it up, pop up, Samoan drop.
Yeah, typical maneuver here from the Fatu brethren.
Yeah, I know what I mean. Jacob Fatu, the 87th WWE United States champion in this company's history. Oh, in the corner with the hip attack.
Oh, my Lord. Drew McIntyre might be knocked out from that vicious shot.
And Shades of Umaga, of course, the United States champion goes all the way back to 2003 with Eddie Guerrero and, of course, John Cena and many others that followed. John Cena, one of the most prolific United States champions, of course, in this title's lineage.
And he will definitely be in action later tonight against Randy Orton for the World Championship, defending World Champion.
Audience chanting, this is awesome already, and I agree. It's a hot start here tonight at WWE Backlash in St. Louis. And Jacob Fatu right now, with devious intentions here, might be looking to go up top for that ridiculous Swanton bomb.
Yeah, we know how good he hits that, too.
And so
no!
Is the eyes.
Yep, that's dirty, but it's effective. And
it's
no DQ.
Legal. It's also legal. Keep in mind, James, there's no disqualifications here in this match.
Exactly.
And now Drew McIntyre might look to take off a two for right. Oh, but
no. Oh, no. Tower of Doom, I think, is about to be coming here. What in the hell is LA Knight thinking here?
Yeah, well, right now he's just trying to crush the torso of Drew McIntyre. Follow up again. Big side leg attack in the corner.
Yeah, that's crazy.
LA Knight down to the top rope, looking to hook up Jacob Fatu. And again, Drew McIntyre's laid out. Jacob Fatu fights him off, though. McIntyre still hung up in the trio wall as Fatu tries to find his footing.
Oh, no. Look at this.
Dangerous. This is extremely dangerous. Fatu and Drew McIntyre. What the fuck?
Drew McIntyre with a belly-to-belly suplex and a hip attack by Jacob Fatu after the swanton.
And a topic suicide by Priest against the announce table. How the hell is Fatu doing this? He took literally a overhead suplex throw and wiped
because he rolled through. Because he rolled through, Noah. He rolled through. And now another swanton to McIntyre. Holy shit.
BFT by LA Knight.
BFT. South of Heaven incoming.
South of Heaven connects to LA Knight. Claymore to Priest by McIntyre. And a Knight new champion on McIntyre saves the title.
Oh my God. I thought we were getting a repeat of Backlash 07. Remember, that's how Shawn Michaels lost the championship to John Cena in a fatal four-way match with Rated RKO as well involved in the match. Randy Orton got super kicked John Cena got super kicked and then he fell on Randy Orton to win the championship or retain the championship. That almost happened for McIntyre. Bam with the Claymore.
And literally staggered on his knees. Priest falling incoherently in the cover on LA Knight. And great awareness by McIntyre to save the matchup. All four men literally hitting each other's best moves on instinct and wiped each other out in the process. After Fatu literally ran roughshod on everyone.
Yeah, he did. That was tremendous.
One of those fans, you gotta know the place of your opponent at all times, but sometimes you just go wherever you think your opponent is. And right now, Fatu, he's feeling something here. Shades of Umaga looking to back it up. Oh my God!
What a vicious elbow strike! A leaping elbow by McIntyre in the future shock.
And look at Fatu though, smart, rolling the apron, can't get pinned there. Once again, look for the future shock. LA Knight into the midsection, BFT countered, throwing up the ropes. LA Knight staggered. Kick at the midsection again, and McIntyre's the future shot DDT to LA Knight.
And that was a full-on spike DDT right on the top of the head. No way to protect himself for LA Knight.
And we might be on a countdown to Claymore country once more. Wait, McIntyre. Countdown initiated, follow-up. Claymore connects directly to LA Knight's face.
Wow.
There's no one there. And McIntyre cover. Back press.
Shit.
Leg.
There's
the ring.
Damien Priest pulling the referee out of the ring to stop the count. That was brilliant. And a flip off by Damien Priest.
And once again, Priest sticks it to McIntyre.
It ain't over yet between these two, I'll tell you that right now. And it looks like these two are just going to brawl all over ringside now.
Oh, Lord.
Jesus Christ.
Into the timekeeper's area goes both McIntyre and Priest over the barricade. And we're isolated with LA Knight down the ring and Jacob Fatu back inside the ring, standing on his own 2 feet.
And keep in mind, that sets him in prime position for the BME. We've seen Jacob Fatu employ this tactic before.
And for all intents and purposes, I think he knows exactly what you mean, James. Springing up to the top rope. And Moonsault connects, but LA Knight gets out of the way.
That was brilliant by LA Knight. Great ring awareness.
LA Knight literally knows that everyone else is taken out. Up to the second rope with everybody saying LA Knight springing up to the top. Elbow drop to a standing Fatu.
He got all of it. Yet. He's going to go for it again. Bang!
Top elbow drop. And LA Knight in the cover. Back press. Hook the front leg. No!
Wow! 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 Oh no!
You were talking about Priest and McIntyre weren't done with each other by a long shot earlier.
Yeah, well, they are far from done. This is not good for either man. Why you are this far out is beyond me.
They don't give a damn about the title. They just give a damn about hurting each other. Foot first by McIntyre. They are amongst the WWE Universe, and I sense disaster.
Yeah, I do too. This is not going to go well for either man here.
Yeah, Priest and McIntyre on top of some staging equipment right now. High above the floor here in the arena of St. Louis. Oh, the classical kiss.
Yeah, headbutt right to the side of the head. Oh, no.
No. Don't do that, Drew. Don't do that.
McIntyre going to go for the stalling release suplex here.
No, but I think Damien Priest now gouging the eyes of McIntyre here. Saving his life.
Dude, this is dangerous here. This is really dangerous for both guys.
Oh, no.
Oh,
and
my
Priest
God.
again might be looking to send McIntyre straight to hell, farther than south of heaven.
No!
McIntyre from the stage, Chris, down the floor for
Holy shit! Holy shit! Back of the head of McIntyre smashes the concrete as both men crash through the tables with this out to heaven.
You might as well call this a one-on-one match. Neither of those men are getting anywhere near the ring after that.
Yeah, that was horrific. And there's officials coming down the ring as fast as they possibly can right now.
Yeah, watch the replay here, James. To your point, watch the way McIntyre's head hits the floor as Priest sends him to hell.
Dude, that was horrific.
Up in heaven off that elevated stage crate down to the floor for 2 tables.
Yeah, that was horrific, dude. That was a really bad landing for McIntyre. Everybody checking on both competitors here. They both might get stretched out because keep in mind, I think the tables broke in such a way where Damien Priest also screwed up his tailbone off that bump. They're both hurt here.
How bad do you want to hurt somebody?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we got to focus back at the ring here. LA Knight pushing Jacob Fatu against the apron as this Night's Championship match continues, and LA Knight's in control of the championship. I mean, face first is that LED ring post. And of course, again, LA Knight knows he has to bring him inside the ring if he wants to win the title. And we might be using that reinforced announce table here in a moment.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think we're done with table bumps. I would say 3 doors down, but to say GCW.
You're using the plywood bit of the table for further punishment. LA Knight laying Jacob Fatu out on the table. What the hell is LA Knight figured here?
Oh my God, you madman. No.
Don't you even.
He's going to go for his elbow drop. He's going to spring up to the top rope.
There's no way. There's no way. Well, it's Solo's the card. Just put Jacob Fatu off the table.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Solo actually helped his brethren here.
He did say that he loved him. We've seen LA Knight at odds ends with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline. And right now, LA Knight, though, he's oh
shit! There he is! It's Jeff Cobb! It's Jeff Cobb! Jeff Cobb!
Jeff Cobb, one of the biggest 3 agents from New Japan Pro Wrestling, former Neverweight Champion.
Holy shit! Jeff Cobb has just come unglued, and now he's beating the hell out of
LA Knight being driven back and forth between the barricade and the ring post. Jeff Cobb has arrived in WWE.
Oh my God! Crossbody while LA Knight was hung over the ring post. I called it, Noah. Jeff Cobb is here. I've been saying it for months now. Jeff Cobb is a part of the Bloodline, and he is here.
Again, destruction all over here at ringside. I guess the Bloodline got a new Imperial unit. I don't know if Jacob Fatu can't believe this. I don't know if Jacob Fatu even knew that Jeff Cobb was coming. This must have been a plan by Solo Sikoa.
Jeff Cobb, a part of the United Empire, goes from that empire to the bloodline. And Solo Sikoa says, he's all yours, Chief. He's all yours.
Again, does Jacob Fatu want it that way, though? He seems a little bit dumbfounded, but either way, Jacob Fatu with a prime target in his sights, and then running him at town to court LA Knight.
Christ.
I mean, at this point, LA Knight's defenseless, came and defended himself. He was assaulted by Jeff Cobb, and Jacob Fatu was laid out, spraying out top row moonsault.
BME, best moonsault ever, covering the far leg.
Jacob Fatu retains.
Wow. Wow.
And it was definitely a family effort, but I don't think it was a welcomed family effort. What the hell? Jeff Cobb is with Solo Sikoa and the bloodline?
Yeah. I've been saying it for months, man. Jeff Cobb is a part of this. We got right here, you got your Samoan SWAT trio, Jeff Cobb, Jacob Fatu, and Solo Sikoa, whether Jacob likes it or not.
Regardless, the match still stands. Jacob Fatu did win, and Jacob Fatu is still the WWE United States Champion. Yep. Aloha means both hello and goodbye. Aloha, Jeff Cobb. Welcome to WWE.
And how ironic is it that the former IWGP United States Champion helped out the WWE United States Champion? And look at this. He's just staring a hole through Jeff Cobb, is Jacob Fatu.
He's also staring a hole through Solo Sikoa again. I do think there's a lot of tough love still in this bloodline. But either way, Jacob Fatu is still the WWE United States Champion.
Man, there is a lot of moving pieces within the bloodline. Jacob Fatu almost shocked here.
I'm fucking shocked. Jeff Cobb's with Solo Sikoa?
I knew it. I've been calling that for a while. Dude, I literally, at the start of the stream, what did I say? Jeff Cobb was on his way here. He was going to be in the bloodline.
You did.
I did not expect it to be this soon, but goddamn.
Me neither. I didn't know. I didn't think it was necessary for tonight, but there you have it.
When your soldiers are out, go get a tank. Hello, Mr. Cobb.
I mean, that's fair. The dude is built like a freaking tank. Literally represented Guam in the Olympics. To your point, former never openweight champion, former IWGP United States champion, former NWA World Television champion, former IWGP Tag Team champion. Freaking Jeff Cobb.
Yep, man.
And one of the most notorious Ring of Honor World Television champions.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
He is won gold all over, man. He is no slouch in that ring. With that being said, I am going to put you on solo shot while I get myself a drink, because I damn near blew my voice out when Jeff Cobb showed up. Holy shit.
That don't surprise me. I'm glad that you had that moment again. And thank you all for tuning in, as I hope that you all had a hell of a moment so far as we continue here. And the moments are far from over. Of course, we know that WWE schedule is also filling out. And of course, Champions Galore will be on site in Saudi Arabia live, as if you all are seeing the same thing I am on Peacock. We will, of course, be covering, as it looks like it is now official, Night of Champions, Saturday, June 28th from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So stay tuned for more on that, along with everything else in our non-stop WWE watch-along schedule. Either way, Jacob Fatu is still the United States champion, and Jeff Cobb has arrived in WWE. What a freaking moment. Anyway, let's go ahead and check on y'all's thoughts here again real quick. G-Coalition Club. Damn right, Jeff Cobb. Safet saying, what a match. Michael Gonzalez saying, what an opener. And, of course, shout out to Rage of Wrestling. That is his birthday, June 28th. Show him some love. Subscribe, folks. Again, if you haven't already, subscribe to all the friends here at the Super Lava Studio. Subscribe to Batting for Wrestling and subscribe to the Rage of Wrestling. And, of course, WWE Backlash Watch Along is brought to you by the Super Lava Studios as we cover all the wrestling. So please keep along with us for the ride for anything you love and out of WWE. And, of course, stay tuned for the post-show following WWE Backlash. A cast, as you see here, will, of course, be following the main event on Peacock. And, of course, we will be here virtually with our Backlash recap. and also the Saturday shenanigans. So please stay tuned for more on that because this Saturday is just starting.
I hope to fuck, man, I'm on Geekbox because that would be awesome.
I mean, you're pretty damn loud, to be fair.
I hope somebody sends that to Geekbox, dude. Like, I couldn't believe it.
I mean, me neither, but I've been trying to restrain myself for reasons. Again, that's personal, but I'm so damn glad that you had a freaking moment that made you go, what the fuck? Because Jeff Cobb just arrived in WWE.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he did.
Anyway, as we continue forward here with the moments to be made, Becky Lynch is looking to spoil the momentum of Lyra Valkyria. Still to come tonight, WWE Women's Intercontinental Championships on the line as Lyra looks to keep the man in second place once again. Can Lyra retain the gold against Becky Lynch?
Well, we had the Dawn show up and help out Jacob Fatu. Can we see that exact thing happen soon?
I mean, again, it's very possible here. As, of course, right now, for those that have the premium Peacock like I do, you are, of course, looking at the cold opening VTR backstory to this match. But again, the backstory is super simple. Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, once a relationship of friend, mentor versus student, has turned into a bitter rivalry. After the two had their moments, and Becky Lynch not only came back home at WrestleMania 41 with her child, but of course we had Lyra 2 belts and a celebration post-WrestleMania after they beat Judgment Day's Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. It was all spoiled the Raw after WrestleMania, when, of course, Judgment Day regained the titles 24 hours later. And Becky Lynch snapped. It was also after that that we learned that Becky Lynch was the one that attacked Bayley, who was originally going to be Lyra's tag partner after they won that SmackDown Tag Team Gauntlet. And so we now reached this point.
I mean, to be fair, that's not a bad comment. I kind of like that.
That is a great comment. Yeah,
that's a really good comment.
I mean, again, Bullet Club, Firing Squad, Contra, Samoa Dynasty, United Empire. This is what Call of Duty wishes they were.
Yeah, true, to be honest.
Team Deathmatch. Anyway, Safet saying, what a debut of Jeff Cobb. Look, I used to play Call of Duty, but I can't shoot the bronze out of a barn in a first-person shooter, bruv, all right? Yeah, so don't even ask me.
I'm awful at FPSs. You're preaching to the choir on that one, dude.
Fair enough.
Dude, I can barely complete Super Mario Sunshine at 100%. By the way, let's play on my channel coming soon. Stay tuned.
And again, stay tuned, folks. We level up with gaming content once again here at the Super Reliable Studios with Super Reliable Gaming, including Nintendo content. So please stay tuned as we cover all the forms of entertainment, not just all the wrestling, but all the various activities you could think of.
Yeah.
As again, Becky Lynch right now, of course, talking about how she was the one that made Lyra Valkyria. She was always better than Bayley. None of this would have been possible for Lyra without her. And, of course, Becky Lynch bringing up previous bad blood, because let's not forget, she was fighting Bayley for the better part of a few years when Bayley was heel. So apparently Becky never forgot about that. In a way, Becky felt that Lyra betrayed her trust due to that time. But again, time heals all wounds. I don't think you can really hold that against Lyra Valkyria, because you want to talk about raising a brand new or creating a new star, beating Becky Lynch, beating Bayley, working with those two. I think that pretty much raises your credibility right there, in my opinion. And of course, again, Becky saying that she has a history about her.
Yeah, this is gonna be a bloodbath type of feud. It feels like. God, oh my God!
Yeah, I was about to say, you just saw that drop kick, by the way.
She apparently John Cena is not the only one calling themselves the GOAT. Becky Lynch having the same.
To be fair, it's hard to argue with Becky Lynch's resume, but Lyra Valkyria is not looking to be the next Becky Lynch. She's looking to be the only Lyra Valkyria and still be WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion.
I'm going to tell you this right now. We've already seen a dawn of a bloodline come in at the 11th hour at the end of a match tonight. Could we see the same thing for the dawn of the Visionary or the Vision Group, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves?
Well, for now, we'll talk more about the Vision later. Right now, it's time to welcome ourselves into the big time. This is Becky Lynch's first one-on-one match since May 27, 2024. third career match at Backlash, and she is 0-1 against Lyra Valkyria. Again, the last time these two faced each other, the only other time these two faced each other was over the WWE Women's NXT Championship. And Lyra Valkyria beat the man that night. Of course, you and I called that match, and it honestly was the match that made Lyra's career before she was called up to the main roster.
A hell of a match between those two as well. So it's going to be I'll tell you right now, as far as matches go, they have a hell of a lot to live up to. That's for damn sure.
Well, also, this is the only women's contest on this card.
Going to be a huge one. They have a lot to live up to here tonight.
Well, again, Becky Lynch knows how to rise to the pressure. Lyra Valkyria has been rising to the pressure on her own for what nearly has been a full calendar year since being part of the main roster. And just go ahead and take a look here. They need to change her theme if they want her to be booed. Again, that's not fickle. You know what? Booing, cheering, it's irrelevant, especially when people just filter it out with technology.
I'm going to be honest. The only theme song you could really replace it with is probably something they'd have to pay a license for, to be honest. Maybe Paramore. Who knows?
As a Valkyrie rises from the smoke tonight, looking to add another feather of battle in victory.
And because she's dressed in green, go Birds!
Lyra Valkyria, of course, going to her fifth defense. She is 7-1 in one-on-one matches so far this year and has been the inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion for 118 days. It's one of those things that Lyra Valkyria, Aloy Valkyrie, of course, for those that remember her, to G Coalition's point about that fire, it was that hunger restored in her when she faced Rhea Ripley in NXT, and she's had this drive ever since. And again, she's been part of Monday Night Raw, literally Monday Night Raw, for about a year now since being drafted last year from NXT, carving her own path to greatness.
I like the wings because they're green.
And the fact, again, you know that whole saying about be careful when you meet your heroes, you may regret it.
Yep.
And tonight, Lyra Valkyria is not looking at a hero, not looking at a role model. She is looking at an enemy that she looks to slay tonight in Becky Lynch. Look at Becky Lynch's, though. She is focused.
Yeah, she is. She is the man, the same man that beat the crap out of Charlotte Flair in a very similar fashion back in SummerSlam of 2018. This is that look in the eyes of Becky Lynch here, and I don't think that's good for Lyra Valkyria in the slightest.
Well, again, Lyra knows so she can beat Becky Lynch. Becky does not know if she can beat Lyra, despite she says she can, as we are officially underway for our only women's contest tonight for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Which is a crying shame because Chelsea Green should be on this card.
Don't get me started on a rant. Scarno type here in the early going. Again, I'm trying to be restrained. I'm trying to be good here for reasons. And there are certain things that definitely will push my nerves to a boiling point, including the debacle of a women's division on SmackDown, especially welcoming the fridge back towards the women's championship picture. That's a whole different conversation. Shout out to DJ, follow Rock and Ropes on the space.
Near the fridge.
Yeah. Nice takedown there by Becky Lynch. Just clubbing away against Lyra Valkyria.
Well, she ain't pulling punches. Immediate wrestling takedown and then just forearm shots right to the side of the temple. That's brutal.
Yeah, that back elbow strike. But again, we've seen a newfound confidence, newfound rage in Lyra Valkyria ever since Becky Lynch betrayed her Raw after WrestleMania.
Man, she's really, she is not playing nice here.
And Becky Lynch, good agility there by Lyra Valkyria. Takes Becky up and over. Becky with the counter.
Wow!
Lyra with a counter. Pushes her over in a crucifix cover. Gets a 1 count.
Great mat wrestling from both. Great countering from both. Nice arm drag by Becky Lynch.
Well, we know the familiarity with these two goes beyond NXT when we talk about how far back they go. Again, it was Lyra Valkyria, Aloy Valkyrie, that saw Becky Lynch in Ireland that inspired her to be a WWE superstar. And of course, it all started for Aloy Valkyrie, Lyra Valkyria in NXT UK, where most of that run, she was undefeated.
Yep.
Nice slip out from underneath there, and Lyra able to capture the leg. Double leg takedown now.
Uh-oh.
For possibly a modified.
Billy Goat's curse.
Possibly a pendulum here. She could trap both arms here.
Able
to trap the man, middle of the ring. Shades of what Paige Saraya did for a duration of her career.
Oh,
The champion right now literally swinging the challenger. Hyperextended the arms and the legs. Again, I don't know how much strength that exhausts out of Lyra, though. Again, that's a lot of weight to keep lifted.
Oh, and look at this, the way she's about to transition into a surfboard stretch. Romero's special here.
And possibly into a dragon sleeper if she wants to. I've seen her implement that before, but to your point, it looks like she is going to go for the Romero special. Becky Lynch hoisted up high in the air, and again, the arms hyperextended behind the man's body.
Yep. Dude,
Still
oh my God.
Position.
Brilliant.
Yeah, this is definitely not the same Lyra Valkyria that Becky Lynch faced back at NXT in 2023.
No, not even close. I mean, she has a vicious streak, and she can easily turn this into the Brass City stretch. Shout out! Turns it into a pin cover. Did Becky Lynch? That was brilliant.
And waist lock exchange there right now by Becky and Lyra. Both of these women trying for position, and Becky. Oh, look at this Northern Lights Suplex with a bridge by Lyra gets a 2 count.
That was a brilliant Northern Lights, and again, that was brilliant by Becky because I think a Dragon Sleeper was coming. She saw that coming a mile away and tried to turn it into a pin cover, but she's still getting beaten the shit out of. Nice insecurity, knee strike right to the side of the jaw.
And Lyra Valkyria right now has been impressing the WWE Universe for the better part of 12 months. Been the man herself on Monday Night Raw. Nice drop kick in between the ropes while Becky Lynch has been MIA.
Nice wrecking ball drop kick. Lyra Valkyria now in firm control here.
Lyra is fired up again. I like it. Last time these two faced each other, by the way, that match only went for about 16 minutes.
Now tossing
Lyra
her back
Valkyria
right now.
Again, Lyra Valkyria, the inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion with wins over Ivy Nile, Dakota Kai, Raquel Rodriguez, and Bayley so far in her run. Oh, and Becky getting the better of Lyra, ripping her down by her hair from the corner.
Oh, look at that, though. Look at the blood on Becky Lynch's elbow. She's definitely
we know how proficient of a striker Lyra Valkyria is. And Becky Lynch right now with the ground and pound, taking advantage of the champion and showing her rage.
Yep. That's that Irish fire that we've known Becky Lynch to have over the years.
Well, Becky Lynch is also back to prove a point. Again, you got to consider she has been gone now for nearly a year. So in Becky Lynch's mind, she's probably figuring the WWE Universe forgot how good she is, how well that she literally led this division.
This is a very good point. Actually, it's been the last 2 years.
Have her shoot the hat, Matt Presley near leg. It's a 1 count. Go ahead.
I think the last time we actually saw Becky Lynch was at Backlash last year in France.
Yeah, you see right now.
If not, it was definitely Saudi. I think that might have been the last show if it wasn't Backlash. So she's been out for a while, damn near a year.
Night of Champions last year. Started with Morgan Revenge Tour, and then a steel cage match on Monday Night Raw was the last match we saw the man before she walked out of the building.
That's a fair point.
And right now, Becky Lynch getting the better of Lyra here in the corner. Once again, trying to remind people exactly who the man is in WWE. The mindset of Becky Lynch, of course, is that supreme confidence in knowing she's done everything and should already believe that she should have been the one to hold this title first. And now Lyra able to escape out of the corner. Becky Lynch with the side steps, bringing off the bottom rope. Singles with a kick.
Yep. Vintage Becky Lynch. Now goes for the floater. Got all of it.
They're going to win the championship. Here's the cover. Hook of the leg. Shoulders aren't down, though. Poor positioning. Jessica Carr, great call there. Got the 1 count.
That was brilliant by Jessica Carr. She is a no-nonsense referee right here, man.
She might be the most proficient referee in WWE.
Calls it right down the middle no matter what side you want her to be on. She's not looking to make friends.
She's only taken, I think, 2 bumps in her career as well, unlike other referees as light as papier-mâché.
Well, I mean, if she were to take a bump, I feel like she could get herself right up. Look at the shape she's in.
I mean, she's a former competitor, to be fair.
That's fair.
And Becky Lynch Lyra the outside, and Becky looking to go with a baseball slide. Takes Lyra down the outside of the ring. As the man is regaining full control of this match and driving Lyra jaw first into the barricade at ringside. Looking to punish the champion here.
Yeah, it looks like she's trying to take her around the world with a 1-trip pain here. Oh, what the hell?
I believe
That is the
that is
the fiance. That's the fiance of Lyra Valkyria. She was talking trash to.
kicking the midsection and driving her
Oh!
face first into the ring post. Again, Becky Lynch wants to make this as personal as possible. Professionalism be damned. And now here's the cover, bringing her inside the ring. Hook of the far leg, and a kick out at 2 by Lyra.
Yeah,
I mean, it's mind games, James. You can't argue, you can't blame Becky Lynch for doing this. It's mind games, and it's working.
Sure is. I mean, she just tossed her head first into the post. That was a vicious throw into it.
Crowd cheering for Becky here, and Lyra right now finds herself fighting from underneath. She's done her whole entire career. Becky Lynch in firm control right now, and Lyra rising and not staying down. Rage of the Valkyrie.
Oh my God! Slap right to the face.
And now Lyra just woke up the man, and Becky Lynch looking to take Lyra again for Beck Exploder. Inside cradle, takeover by Lyra, though, hooking up Becky Lynch. Might be looking for Nightwing. Got Becky up. Down goes the man.
Running Fisherman Buster by Lyra Valkyria.
Incredible power there by the champion. And again, this is for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Again, there's really no history of this title because Lyra's the inaugural champion. Of course, we've seen Lyra Valkyria with wins over Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Shayna Baszler on her way to this course, outlasting an incredible field of women in an inaugural tournament. Rolling Sobot, combination offense here by Lyra Valkyria, swinging a miss by Becky Lynch. Now Lyra off the ropes, looking for the hip toss, cartwheel escape. Step as Zaguri rocks Becky.
Brilliant countering there. And now into a gut wrench powerbomb.
Dr. Bomb, cover, 2, no! Lyra right now, a little bit of disbelief here so far. Again, I gotta wonder if the pressure is getting to Lyra Valkyria, knowing that, again, this is a person she once looked at as a friend. And yes, she beat her friend, but can she beat what's now become her rival?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have mind games being played on you like that, you are bound to make little mistakes like that. For example, that gut wrench powerbomb, normally we've seen Lyra hit that before. She's able to get the full elevation for that Dr. Bomb, but in this case, she was not able to do it. That shows you the headspace that Becky Lynch has rented inside her.
A big high kick by Becky Lynch, now going up to the high risk district, and Lyra meeting her in kind. Dangerous position here for both these incredible athletes on the end, showing their appreciation for what both these incredible women are bringing tonight at WWE Backlash. And Lyra looking to hook up Becky Lynch, possibly for a massive, oh my Lord, superplex!
Wow! That was a stalling superplex by Lyra Valkyria into the cover.
Look at the near leg. Is it enough here? Kick at 2. And to your point, I think it took more out of Lyra than it did Becky. She was slow to fall up on the cover. Take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, I mean, again, normally I would say, because we've seen her do this before, but maybe she should have just gone for the standard superplex. But she was trying to let the blood rush to her head, but in doing so, it took a bit of strength out of her.
Now, Lyra Valkyria has to remain in control. She has to remain vigilant because Becky Lynch could turn this at any time. Now, once again, but the fireman's carried, looking for maybe Nightwing. Again, Becky escapes. The waistlock exchange here. And Kyria with the roll up, the cover, and Becky reverses. Cover, sit down. She got the rope. Oh, and Jessica Carr immediately caught Becky Lynch there.
Oh, there you go. Talk about no nonsense.
It's all about desperation. Lyra hooking up Becky again for Nightwing. Becky, though,
final cut
down. Cover here to win the title. Kick at 2.
Brilliant. I did not expect to see a final cut. These women pulling out moves that we have not seen in a while.
But it goes to show that Becky Lynch realizes probably now how much Lyra Valkyria has grown since their first encounter in NXT. And she shouldn't take her lightly.
Yeah, final cut there by Becky Lynch, not able to get the win.
And Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria both in a state of disbelief. Becky right now trying to regroup and figure out a new game plan here. Capacity crown on hand here in St. Louis. And Lyra slow to get to her feet as Becky Lynch has to get to her feet, looking for that manhandle slam. Lyra able to escape, though. Countered by Lyra, pushes Becky in the corner. Follow up again. Becky escapes, bringing it up, looking for that single leg kick. And Lyra scouting at that time, sending Becky up and over the outside.
That was brilliant, and that might have just jacked up the knee of Becky Lynch in the crossbody.
The challenger right now thrown back inside the ring, and Lyra again Might be looking to ascend here. High risk, high reward, or possibly might bust. Leg drop connects!
Fanmaster from the top!
But wait a minute. And Lyra goes for the cover. That moment of judgment call might have cost the champion there. She thought she might have gone for the win. Now she's looking for another high-risk move. Second row, moonsault, but Becky got the knees up.
See, that's the problem. She should have gone right for her move. I think if she'd gone for her move before she went for the pin cover, she might have had the win there. Just those little mistakes shows you the headspace that Becky has landed in her head.
Yeah, look at that top rope axe kick. That leg drop, though, right across the back of the head of Becky Lynch. Might have had her dead to rights, but again, awareness and literally playing in the head of Lyra there. Lyra downing if she could have beat her there, cost her a moment. The match continues on, though. Becky Lynch slow again to stagger to her feet. These women are killing it here, as I expected.
Yep.
Big forearm smash here, but again, you got to look at Lyra here. The wear and fatigue of both these incredible athletes. Big forearm smash exchange here between Becky and Lyra. Something has to give here eventually.
Yeah, one woman's going to collapse from these.
Oh! Section. And Lyra, though, now jogging for position, test of strength, backslide attempt denied. Now Becky Lynch hooking up Lyra. Take her down into the cross-arm breaker to Tommy, but Lyra able to collapse the wrist.
Oh, no.
And Becky's got the arm, though. Lyra able to escape, counter. And now Lyra looking, man.
Oh, into a cross-arm breaker.
This Becky Lynch going to tap out, though. And now Becky able to reverse. Watch the shoulders, watch the shoulders. And Becky again.
Oh, no.
Disarmer. Disarmer now on Lyra Valkyria.
All she has to do is wrench it back, but brilliant roll through there, and into a cover. Whoo, schoolgirl pin. That was brilliant.
Becky now looking for the mantle slam. Lyra again, able to scout it here. Cover, hook of the leg. Kick out at 2.
Oh, that's how she was able to win the NXT title. Was countering
that. Slap by Becky Lynch, middle of the ring. Do we have a new champion? No.
Wow, the heart of Lyra.
Are you kidding me?
The heart of Lyra on full display, and Becky is beside herself.
The manhandle slam. Lyra Valkyria took it and survived it. That has literally won Becky Lynch championships.
I think the mind games now are, I think she just rented headspace there with that kick out in the mind of Becky Lynch. Keep in mind, she almost got caught twice in that entire exchange also. Becky Lynch actually lost the title because of a counter to the manhandle slam. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I think to your point, Becky Lynch is literally becoming unhinged right now, just assaulting Lyra. Doesn't know what to do at this point. And now Becky, what is Becky thinking here?
Oh, God. Oh, she's got a bad devious intentions here. I think she's going for a steel chair.
And now Becky Lynch with a steel chair. Again, what are you doing? It's not a no disqualification match.
Yeah, this is not
about the Intercontinental Championship, Becky. You're better than this.
But here's the deal. Yeah, here's the deal. I think she's doing this on purpose to distract the referee.
And get to your point, Jessica Carr able to grab the chair.
I think we got to. Yeah, immediately. I knew it. She's immediately undoing the turnbuckle pad.
And Becky Lynch is exposed the top turnbuckle. To your point, Lyra completely unaware of what's happened most recently. Now Becky looks at Lyra and Becky. Oh! Whoa! Almost hit the turnbuckle. Waist lock. German suplex released by Lyra.
Yeah, that. Oh! Spinning heel kick by Lyra.
Off the second rope, moonsault follow off the cover to retain. Knocking out.
Wow! I really thought she had it there.
Both women giving everything they could and then some for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship.
You got to imagine if she hit face first off that turnbuckle and she completed those sets of maneuvers, it could have been all she wrote.
Again, both these top superstars right now literally have pulled out their best shots and have still been unable to put down the other.
And now look at this.
And Lyra hoisting up Becky again. Might be finally looking for a Nightwing. Becky Lynch up on the shoulders. Becky able to fight out. And Lyra, into the middle turnbuckle. And Becky again. Manhandle slam. Cover to win. No, kick out again.
Becky overshot it, man.
And Becky Lynch is beside herself, to your point. If Lyra would have given the exposed turnbuckle, I think there could have been a new champion.
Now both women are back to square one. It is anybody's ball game. And both women,
oh
Jesus Christ. Slamming her head like a basketball on the mat.
Becky is literally losing her own hair at this point.
Dude, this is horrific. Oh no.
And Becky again,
oh no.
Lyra at this post turnbuckle, and Jessica Carr able to check it. And she's going to head out there and look for the turnbuckle. Meanwhile, Mano slam, counter, Lyra hooking up Becky, hoists her up on the shoulders. Nightwing! Cover! Counter! 1, 2, no!
Oh my God! Jessica Carr not even able to be in position because she tried too hard there. That was Jessica Carr's own kindness getting the better of the matchup, and Lyra Valkyria paid the price for it.
Yeah, literally that moment of Jessica Carr restoring integrity to the ring by trying to put the turnbuckle pad back on might have cost Lyra the championship there. She hit Nightwing perfectly in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, this is not going to be good for Jessica Carr. I mean, somebody's going to go face first into the turnbuckle, and there's not much that Jessica's going to be able to do when that eventually happens.
And up on the shoulders again, looking for Nightwing. Can Lyra hit it again? Becky Lynch fighting back, though. Once again, looking for another manhandle slam. Lyra with the rope. It's in the cover. Hook both legs. Kick out at 2 by Becky. Oh, and a front of the eye!
Oh, my God!
Now, wait a minute. What the hell? That schoolgirl, high stack, counter. Now, Lyra, cover. Grabs her nose, too. Lyra did it!
Oh, what? What?
Becky Lynch is ticked off. Lyra Kerr retains, but Becky Lynch lost. Lyra
You gotta be kidding
Lyra's
me!
still the champion, and Becky can't believe it.
Becky is incensed.
And Becky, Jessica, do something. She's gonna try and break her arm.
Yeah, Jessica Carr, trying to pull her off. The match is
over. To disarm her, but Lyra Kyria does retain. Now we got other referees trying to save Lyra. I mean, you can't argue how hard Lyra fought for that, especially considering Lyra recently had a face injury at one point. Yeah. Becky Lynch is unhinged right now. Get her off her already.
Jesus Christ. Dude, don't scream at her. Pull her off.
And Pierce finally out here doing something right for once in his damn manager life. But Lyra Valkyria retains her title, but at the end, she may have lost not only a friend, she may have literally lost an arm in the process as she's checking on her eye and nose. That cheap shot by Becky Lynch, and somehow Lyra was able to have enough awareness, change position on a roll-up cover, and pin Becky to retain the championship.
And look at this.
Despondent Becky Lynch.
Jason Jordan now is trying to just, bring her back up to the ground. Oh, my God. She said, go. Jason Jordan, backstage official, telling her to go back up the ramp here.
I personally don't think Becky Lynch has nothing to be ashamed of here, except for that post-match display of poor sportsmanship. Becky and Lyra gave absolutely everything and then some.
I don't think it's done, dude. I don't think it's done by a long shot. Something tells me she's about to pull a fast one on everybody here.
Well, regardless, an incredible, commendable effort in successfully retaining her WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship as Lyra Valkyria.
Look at this.
Is still the champion, but definitely doesn't look like it. Let's go back to the ending stretch here again. This was an incredible match. Look at this manhandle slam. Picture perfect, middle of the ring, and Lyra was able to kick out before 3. And Becky right there, that was the moment, James, that Becky, I think, truly doubted herself that she could beat Lyra. Yeah. And there was no turning back from that point. She did everything, but to Lyra's credit, she gave everything, and Becky still survived. This constant struggle for using, in Becky's case, that top turbo, that spot to your point. She hit the second one, non-exposed. I think that right there was Becky Lynch's best chance to win, and she failed.
Yeah,
and then a bump in the eye right there. I think she literally hit her nail in her eye. And again, looking for a schoolgirl, hook of the single leg. Lyra able to reverse, hook the leg, still grabbing at her face, was still able to trap Becky for the 3 count, and Becky couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I don't think we're done, man. I think they need more security too, because I think Becky is secretly seething right now. But a hell of a match.
And Lyra, though,
Lyra
needs
with
to
a
go
hard
check her.
fought win.
Yeah, Lyra needs to go check her right eye, though. That's for sure. An incredible,
Yeah.
hard-fought match. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it is WWE. But hell, the women actually proved to me something. James, Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch, WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, WWE Backlash. That's professional wrestling! Damn it!
Yeah, it was.
That was a phenomenal contest. Wow. Well, either way, Lyra, congratulations. But damn, Becky, what the fuck?
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
And I'm about to say, yeah, no Bailey, by the way, at all. So again, where is Bailey? I mean, at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, again, James, so far, Backlash, we've had 2 championship matches and 2 successful retentions. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the comments here down the stretch. So Fett saying, what a match, and G Collision Brother, number 17. The trouble with pulling Becky off was they had to do without inevitably making her torque on Lyra's arm and breaking it really bad. That's true, because if they pulled back, they could have pulled Lyra's arm back in the process. You got a point there. Oh, man. I'm so happy that Lyra retained, though. That was the right decision, in my opinion, because Lyra really has made that title into something you got to work for, not only to win, but to hold. That was Lyra's best match to date while holding that
championship. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but we knew what was going to happen between Becky and her.
And a clean win. It was a legit clean win.
Yep.
It didn't take a finisher. It just took great wrestling.
Yep.
Ain't that some crazy shit?
Catch as catch can, with 2 Irish women who know how to do the catch as catch can style. Gee, what a donkey.
Yeah, and WWE of all places. And speaking of WWE, folks, get ready for the biggest party of the summer that they offer from MetLife Stadium as WWE SummerSlam goes 2 nights back-to-back for the first time ever. What the hell are they thinking? August 2nd and August 3rd. Stay tuned for our coverage of WWE SummerSlam. Hosted by Cardi B. Who cares about that, though? Oh, man, that was so good, though. I didn't think Becky was going to win overall, but I wouldn't be surprised if we had a rematch and Lyra wins again. Well, it's almost one of those things, though, that you think Becky pushed Lyra to absolute limits. Do we need a rematch anytime soon at this point with those two? I don't know how much further you prove a point besides winning clean that way, that deep, that hard. I don't think there's anything else that Lyra needs to prove to Becky.
Nice. Look at this. They're showing the first ever matchup from Ohio Valley Wrestling, January 19th, 2002. Yep.
And last matchup one-on-one was February 7th, 2017, WWE SmackDown. The forever rivals that have defined 2 decades of WWE will go at it one last time for the last time for the undisputed WWE Championship still to come tonight, Randy Orton, John Cena. Yeah, and I know, but I don't care. I'm not greedy. I'm humble. I'm simple. And we'll see soon enough who is going to be from one workhorse to the other workhorse. We go from the women to the men. It's time for Dirty Dominik Mysterio versus Penta for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And let's go ahead and talk about what got us here to this point, courtesy of Morgan & Morgan, if you're watching on the Peacock. Well, again, James, we saw that ridiculous Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania. Dirty Dominik Mysterio, Finn Balor, Braun Breaker, and, of course, Penta and Mieiro fought for the title. You almost thought it would be a handicap affair with Judgment Day, with Finn Balor being the guy at the helm, who, of course, thought Dom was going to help him win the title. And that clearly didn't happen.
Yeah, well, it did not happen. That's a good point. I mean, here's the thing. We knew Dominik had something up his sleeve.
Oh, yeah. It was just a matter of timing. And again, Penta with the destroyer on Dominik Mysterio nearly won, but thanks to Carlito saving Dominik Mysterio and the title, Finn Balor with the coup de grace to Braun Breaker went for the deep hook of the leg, but Dominik Mysterio, great timing off that frog splash, pinned Finn Balor to win the championship.
Yeah, that was that really has to get in the craw of Finn Balor.
And Dirty Dom Mysterio winning the Intercontinental Championship, the same title held by the likes of the showstopper himself, Shawn Michaels. Talking about how his victory is the greatest victory ever. Good grief. You talk about being self-absorbed, but it is hard to argue with how hard Dominik Mysterio has been working for this. And the people have bought into Dominik Mysterio.
Man, he is just dissing everybody as I am the greatest of all time. Nobody can compete with me. Okay,
Right. You're the greatest of all time. All right, we'll go along with that. You're Shawn Michaels. You're better than Shawn Michaels. I get it. Well, I don't know if the greatest is going to win, but I think the fearless could definitely win tonight. And of course, again, this is a rematch. Penta Ciampa previously faced Dominik Mysterio shortly after WrestleMania in one-on-one action. Judgment Day at ringside. I thought he had him after that freaking destroyer, but Dominik rode to the outside. There's Finn Balor, who miscommunication took out Dominik Mysterio. But again, the numbers game. Carlito came into play, and JD McDonough returned. Literally stun gunning Penta across the top rope as a Tiger Fang kick allowed Dominik Mysterio to set him up for the Frog Splash, and Dominik Mysterio retained against Penta that night.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Very good strategy by Dominik.
Yeah, but again, did Finn Balor, did he respect the strategy? Was he in on the strategy? And of course,
Finn Balor and Jacob Fatu. Hey, listen, all I know is Finn Balor and Jacob Fatu could be friends.
Finn Balor and Jacob Fatu could be friends.
I mean, they're both having groups, just not tell them shit going on. So, I mean, hey.
I mean, one's a champion, though, and again, the jury is out. I mean, Jeff Cobb and Jacob Fatu, yes, please, take my money. I'm just saying, take my fucking money.
Hey, technically speaking, one of his friends is a champion. He just didn't tell him how he was going to win the title.
I'll give you that. I guess.
I'm just saying, they're both having championship lows in their own group.
Well, the goal's online once again. Penta Ciampa, Dominik Mysterio at Backlash. Here we go. I will admit, I still think Death Rebel sucks, but this entrance is pretty cool.
The entrance is good. The theme needs to change.
Well, again, when you're Death Rebel, you're genericized. You can't tell me otherwise. And of course, Triple H with the pyro and the fire idea in the background was brilliant.
Yeah, it was great. So yeah, I'm just gonna say this. All right, guys.
Oh, go ahead.
I could do his theme right now. It's easy to do. Ready? This ain't hard. It ain't hard.
It might as well be a ringtone. It probably is a ringtone, honestly. Maybe that's where Jeff Rebel gets some of his ideas. Anyway, enough criticism on music in this day and age. Okay, let's get back to the match here, James. And Penta Mysterio, of course, who has literally wowed the WWE Universe since showing up here in WWE, finds himself once again challenging for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I believe this is his fourth chance now at the title, because let's not forget, he previously tried and faced Braun Breaker one-on-one for the title, and Finn Balor on the Judgment Day threw that match out the window.
Yep. Not surprised by that. Good thing.
Venom's still looking for his first singles championship since arriving here in WWE.
Listen, Death Rebel can be an artist. They just can't be the artist. We found this out the hard way now.
Well, anyone could be an A. Very few could be the. It's like anyone could be great. Very few could be grade one. And of course, we'll learn more about that when we cover the G1 Climax this year with our Canadian friend, Ash. Stay tuned for more on that, folks. Back for wrestling. And stay tuned for AEW reviews and other further content. Again, please support my friends. Subscribe today. Subscribe to Rage of Wrestling. And subscribe. Don't be a dickhead to Batty for Wrestling. Join Batty's army. Be a young punk. That's for you, Ash. Even though you're a House of Torture fan, I still appreciate you. And of course, this match is brought to you by Super Lava Studios, and we keep you in tune with all the biggest shows, all the coverage, all the shows, PLDs, pay-per-views, specials, all across all things wrestling, primarily WWE, NXT, AEW, TNA, ROH, Independence, HOG, ROW, NJPW, and then some, and GCW. By the way, you and freaking JJ have really become quite a GCW duo. I've really enjoyed you all's camaraderie with that. You all have been having a lot of fun. And
I think the only reason why anybody likes those is because I cringe and I get scared.
Well, hey, man, that's entertainment. And here comes
I
Dominik
see.
Mysterio with Judgment Day in tow, Finn Balor, Carlito, and JD McDonough. Here comes our current WWE Intercontinental Champion.
Latino cheat. Oh, Finn Balor actually wearing Dominik's shirt. Latino cheat. Okay.
Latino cheats.
He is wearing in solidarity with his boy.
I still can't believe that this young man, only 4 years in the wrestling business, defined in WWE, trained by his father. Definitely you would not think he was a Mysterio, though, with this getup, though. Looks more like a Guerrero every day with his lying, cheating, and stealing. Is now the WWE Intercontinental Championship at 28 years of age.
I blame the mustache.
Hey, mustaches are cool. You fuck off.
I'm saying for him, he's only wearing the mustache, and Eddie Guerrero also wore the mustache. So.
Dominik Mysterio, by the way, the 189th Intercontinental Champion in this title's illustrious history, going all the way back to 1979 with Pat Patterson, the very first ever WWE Intercontinental Champion. Calling himself the greatest of all time, calling himself a greater legacy than those that have held it before. Drew McIntyre, Umaga, Jeff Hardy, Shelton Benjamin, Seth freaking Rollins, Gunther, who holds the record as the longest reigning champion in the style's history.
Yep.
I mean, again, to hold yourself to that level of moxie against that pedigree of history, that's a huge level of confidence and pressure to put on yourself. But we've seen Dominik Mysterio rise from it and thrive on it.
Yeah.
Hatred.
Oh, jeez.
Someone told me that this was not going to start off nice and slow.
No, it wouldn't.
And Dominik Mysterio right now with the Irish whip throws Penta in the rope, swinging a miss, and Penta take over to Harris to the champion.
That was brilliant.
Oh, on the knee in the corner, though. Swinging a miss, and Dominik Mysterio getting the better of Penta with his own Hurricane Rana.
This is very much going to be a lucha-heavy match, considering the two men involved.
Well, again, you are a diehard fan of Lucha Libre. You've told me verbatim how, your favorite wrestler has always been Rey Mysterio. Backstabber, vicious backstabber by Penta to Dominik Mysterio. Just the half, here's the cover, hook of both legs, gets a 2 count.
Yeah, I've been following Lucha Libre ever since I seen my boy Rey Mysterio. So, first time I ever saw this man, Penta El Zero Miedo, Pentagon, whatever you want to call him, was Lucha Underground. He dominated the scene over there, dominated the scene in AAA, TNA, AEW, now WWE. Jeez,
top
nice
rope hung up in a drop kick, and to your point, I saw Pentagon Dark, of course, in Lucha Underground when he took on men and women. Oh, that's open! A DDT on the floor!
Yep. Wow, crowd really getting behind Dominik here.
Take a look at the replay here. The seamless transition of the Tope Suicida, trapping Penta's head into a DDT on the floor.
Yeah, tilt-a-world even flow there. And now look at this, mocking Penta.
He's mocked every other Lucha Libre great, for being perfectly honest. Limited, included not to Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. And of course, Dominik Mysterio knows title can only change hands via pinfall submission inside the ring. Championship's advantage.
Yeah, history of that walk as well as Penta tries to regain control as both men just chopping the shit out of each other here.
And swinging a miss, and Penta driven into the still ring steps.
Yeah, that walk actually infamous by La Parka and LA Park currently. So a lot of history with that particular walk. You talk about disrespecting the Lucha Libre culture. Dominik knows how to do that in spades.
Again, I do like the aggressive nature, though, of Dominik Mysterio when it comes to the fact that he now is a champion. He's not, taking it lightly. He's not taking the fact that he holds a title now very likely. And to his point, also, he's out here on his own.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Dom getting cheers. The crowd, some crowd booing him. Some crowd is actually cheering him. Nice helo over the top rope. It's Betty Guerrero.
I'm about to say, up the slingshot helo, to your point. He hooked the far leg, closest to the ropes, by the way, too. Smart pinfall there by Dominik Mysterio.
Yep, that was brilliant. And now again, mocking the walk of Penta.
See, this is one of those things, though, that I don't like. Dominik Mysterio is way too full of himself. And that pride, that moxie's going to get the better of him sooner rather than later. We've seen notoriously short runs with the WWE Intercontinental Championship.
That's a very fair point. But I will say, as much as he's cocky, He's showing that he all the people
Cover
that
now.
have ever rope break there by Penta.
Continue.
I will say, all the people that have ever trained him and taught him something, he is taking a piece from each one of them. Example there, Finn Balor. We talk about how, you know, he may have issues with Finn Balor, but he just pulled out those stomps on the ropes there. That's a trademark of Finn Balor.
Yeah, again, though, we talk a lot, though, about Judgment Day and the trust with each other. And Dominik Mysterio, of course, being there for multiple generations of Judgment Day. Brought in first by Rhea Ripley. And then, of course, traded his mommy away for Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio have been ruling Judgment Day with Finn Balor. But there is still that jockey for power. When Finn Balor said that the Judgment Day is supposed to be all equals, I still think Finn Balor considers himself the leader. But honestly, Dominik Mysterio has been leading more by example. Reverse sling blade by Penta to Dominik.
Yeah, reverse sling blade, almost a Kotaro crusher. Shades of Kenny Omega, a huge rival of his in the past. Actually fought for the AAA Mega Championship at All In against Kenny Omega at one point.
Penta Samajero right now going up to the top rope where he is most comfortable. Now going up to the ring post. What the hell?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Go for a crossbody!
For the crossbody!
Wow!
Outside on the floor from the highest heights, crashing down Dominik Mysterio.
Say it with me, Spanish folks. Si, cabrón, fiesta, lucha, lucha, lucha.
Okay, well, Hugo Savanovich isn't there, but I'm sure Carlos Cabrera is somewhere there that probably literally said that as we speak. And again, folks, stay tuned for more Lucha Libre commentary like that and then some possibly from James when we cover Worlds Collide, brought to us by WWE and AAA, coming up very soon here in WWE's schedule. Stay tuned for more on that. Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank on the same day. What?
That's crazy in and of itself. Oh, nice gut kick though.
And now Dominik. Oh, come on.
Taking a page out of Eddie's playbook with the three amigos.
And Penta not letting that happen. Push him off the ropes. Drop toe hold by Mysterio.
Dude, he did a Tiger Fate drop toe hold. And there it is. Tiger Fate kick misses, though. 619 doesn't connect.
Yeah, great scouting by Penta here. Again, this is their third one-on-one encounter, James. Oh, crucifix bomb cover to new champion. Kick out two.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant by both guys. Both guys pulling out stuff I have not seen either one of them do. Penta really showing he is a singles competitor, man. Look at this crossbody, for example.
Again, he's been that on Monday Night Raw with his rivalries with Pete Dunne, Ludwig Kaiser, and of course show up in the Royal Rumble from number 1 against Rey Mysterio. Penta has been a mainstay all on his own on Monday Night Raw. Ooh, and look for Oblivion! Shares of Liv Morgan!
Wow!
Wow! Back crash kick on two!
I am telling you, he's learning something from everybody. I would not be surprised if we see a Riptide or a South to Heaven too. He is taking moves from every single one of his mentors and former mentors. The Oblivion being just an example of that, and that almost got him the win here.
And Penta right now up in the corner, grabs Thunder Mysterio, catches it over the Enziguri.
Nice
Big kick now by Penta here.
Oh no. Oh no, gonna go for it.
Oh boy. But Penta finds his foot, lands in the apron, knife edge chop down at Mysterio. Now Penta.
God, what the hell? Why would you try to run onto the apron? He was going to try to do a Hurricane Rana onto the apron.
Because he has zero fear!
Oh, God.
Penta and Dominik Mysterio both on the apron now. Another Enziguri rocks down at Mysterio. Both men dangerous territory. And Penta, don't you do it. And oh my God! Just fire around the apron!
Oh no! Oh no!
¡Ay, los míos!
Yeah, I Dios míos indeed. And, well, we got a man who speaks in the face of people who don't want to be cool. Carlito is now here arguing with the referee, trying to distract the referee.
From behind!
Uh-oh!
They dropped the barricade. They're about to sub Penta here.
Oh, my God.
Wait, what the hell is Finn Balor doing? Finn Balor getting a chair from the timekeeper area.
Oh,
and the
no!
That caught red-handed. Are you kidding me?
Should have just gone for total elimination, Finn. You shouldn't have gotten a chair. Hey, out of here.
Finn Balor with a game plan just caused JD, Carlito, and Finn being ejected from ringside. Clearly, that was not what Dominik Mysterio was thinking.
Hey, listen, when one plan fails, the other one might come in. Don't forget the women's tag champions
And
still
now
at play here. Wow! Bowling pin, strike.
Don't pick on hello over the referee. Wipes out JD McDonald and Carlito.
Oh, wait a
Finn Balor
minute,
got out of the way. I'm not sure where Finn Balor is right now.
Well, keep in mind, though, all of that time wasting finally allowed Dirty Dom to recover, but what a hell of a super kick by Penta. Oh, my God. That was basically a soul bot right to the jaw. And look at this.
Finn Balor's still out there, though, to your point, arguing with the official while Penta right now is looking for something on the top rope.
Hey, hey!
What the fuck? El Grande Americano! A headbutt! What? Chad Gable, you son of a bitch!
Oh, my God.
Are you gotta be kidding me? It's a freaking screw job! Frog splash! Covered by Dom! Bullshit! Down to the Steelers.
Oh, my God.
Chad Gable, you luchador hater!
Hey, that is not...
Ray Phoenix's brother!
Hey, that is not Chad Gable. That is
we are not. We have not started this tonight. I swear to God, I will take you off screen.
That is El Grande Americano.
That is Chad Gable and that loaded fucking mask.
You treat him with respect.
I'm not going to treat Chad Gable with respect when he was ruining a great match.
Listen. He did a dirty thing. There's no denying that. He's an asshole for it. But you treat El Grande Americano with respect and call him by the right name. That said,
Donald Trump should deport him. He should deport him across the border and make sure he never crosses the wall. That damn loaded mask to Penta allowed Don Mysterio to hit a fucking frog splash to retain the championship. El Grande Americano, Chad fucking Gable, luchador hater extraordinaire, cost Penta.
El Grande Americano, and I will say that was a dirty thing that El Grande did. There ain't no doubt about it. He is an absolute rudo in this industry. That man just cost that man the Intercontinental title to Dirty Dom Mysterio. That was brutal. That was not fun, okay? That was bullshit.
You're all idiotas. Every single fucking one of you brujas. Idiotas. And we got a free commercial break.
I resent that statement. I am autistic. There's a difference, number one. Number two, El Grande Americano is a legit luchador, and he just proved it tonight. He showed himself, okay? It was weird. It was weird. I don't like it. I don't like what he did, but he did it, and it's very bad. Very ideals meal. No fun. No.
Fucking hell, this freaking sham, this shice, this freaking nonsense. Well, anyway, Dominik Mysterio is still the WWE Intercontinental Champion. And Penta Mysterio got screwed. And again, Finn Balor, I do got wonder, did Finn Balor act on his own behalf, or did Dominik Mysterio had a plan and Finn Balor decided to change the plan? Because if it wasn't for the fact that Finn Balor was going to grab that chair, they probably could have assaulted Penta behind the referee's back. Jury's still out on that.
What is going on?
Read that season. It's a freaking advertisement. It's WWE's marketing, branding. No one gives a shit. Anyway, well, that's 3 matches down, and so far I'm 3 for 3, but damn it, did not want to see a win like that. But either way, Dominik Mysterio is still the WWE Intercontinental Champion. Fucking Chad Gable. I will be vindicated. I swear on everything that is clear with this show.
Listen, we have seen El Grande Americano and Chad Gable in the same place. You can no longer say that it is Chad Gable.
You saw a plant, all right?
It was not a plant. It was the real El Grande Americano. I will not have this. Just because he did a bad thing, I will not have his identity disparaged like you are disparaging his identity right now.
Well, I'm sure you'll disparage a whole lot more when it comes to conflict.
For all we know, it could be Brutus Creed or it could be, who's the other guy from America?
That guy is way too skinny for Brutus Creed, and Julius Creed has a simpler build. But coming up Monday Night on Raw, folks, AJ Styles goes one-on-one with Finn Balor. We just had a Bullet Club generational 8-man tag last night. 2 leaders of Bullet Club will square up tomorrow night on Monday night on Raw. So stay tuned for more on that.
Hey, listen, for all we know, it could be, freaking Kurt Angle, for all we know. Anyway.
Well, I mean, again, I don't think American Made sucks, but I think the Americano gimmick sucks. And of course, we have Warriors versus American Made, and also this huge women's tag. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley will go up against Roxanne Perez and Julia. That's all ahead, folks, on Monday Night Raw. No, we are not covering it. And also CM Punk will return after fighting the Vision. So stay tuned for more on that. I'm sure they'll have implications on Money in the Bank, Night of Champions, and also SummerSlam at this point, if I had to guess. And speaking of which, Saturday night's main event, this is also official. Main event, Jey Uso will defend the World Heavyweight Championship live, nationwide, 2 weeks from the night on NBC and the Peacock against the Maverick, Logan Paul.
Well, boo. Fuck him.
Well, yeah, but also, yeet.
Yeet.
The fact that 40 years ago, May 1985, we talk about how long Saturday night's main event has been such a mainstay for WWE with this flashback.
Dude, Bob Orton and Hulk Hogan, all those years ago. Jesus.
And Roddy Piper.
Being Roddy Piper.
And of course, Mr. T, and of course, we all saw what that led to.
Paul Orndorff.
And of course, speaking of Cena and Orton, we are, of course, in St. Louis, Missouri. And this is not the first time these two have fought each other here in this city. If we're being perfectly honest, it's their third Backlash match against each other. Their 11th one-on-one match against each other on the PLE. They are tied 5-5. And it's their 24th match with a championship, the championship, on the line.
Jesus, I did not realize it was actually wow. Okay, I did not realize they were 5-5 against each other. So this is really to settle a score here. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you truly talk about how this will be for the last time. One of these men is going to be 6-5 against the other, and will own that forever.
Well,
oh boy.
Well, we're not gonna get to the titles anymore. What we have here is a grudge match. The Ring General, Walter taking on Pat McAfee.
And something tells me Michael Cole has a huge concern for his friend's safety and well-being, as he should.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
As we go now to the cold opener for this match, let's go ahead and bring it up to speed once again how we got here. The Ring General Gunther, the former World Heavyweight Champion, defended the title at WrestleMania 41 against main event Jey Uso in what many thought would be impossible for Jey to do. Jey Uso overcame the Ring General's greatest offense and not only beat Gunther, but made Gunther tap out to the very same sleeper hold that he incapacitated not only Jey, but his brother with. In one of the greatest moments of shock and awe in WrestleMania history for those that followed Jey Uso's transition from tag team specialist to main event player and now world champion.
And keep
as
this
Michael
in mind.
Cole, Pat McAfee, and everybody yeeted all night long.
And keep that in mind, folks, that Jey Uso legitimately is the only person that has ever tapped out the Ring General.
Only one other person has ever tapped out the Ring General, James, and that was Ilya Dragunov in NXT TakeOver 36. And as Michael Cole and Pat McAfee celebrated, given their opinion, Gunther couldn't stand it. He wanted to hear Michael Cole directly, face to face. And Michael Cole simply said what happened, and Gunther did not want to hear it again. Pat McAfee going to the aid of his friend, and Michael Cole nearly was put to sleep by Gunther in the process. As Pat McAfee assaulted Gunther to break things up, Gunther got the better of Pat McAfee that night, incapacitating him with a sleeper hold, forcing him to literally gasp for air, where he almost couldn't even swallow water.
Yeah, that was not good. That was really not good.
That was Gunther at his most dangerous, to the point that it appears from out of the building.
I mean, can you blame him?
Yeah, Michael Cole, of course, with safer concern for his friend. And then McAfee called out Gunther for the one-on-one match. And of course, Nick Aldis was the general manager of Monday Night Raw that night. And Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce decided to make this match official.
He wants to fight Gunther.
You got a death wish, Pat McAfee. You're a crazy son of a bitch.
Oh wow! Did they switch? Did they switch general managers? Why was Nick Aldis the one to make that announcement?
And Pierce wasn't there that night.
Fair enough. Okay.
This intense face-to-face where he talked about you got too damn comfortable. It almost makes you wonder when you feel like you can't be touched or untouchable. Does Pat McAfee have a point? Did Gunther maybe get uncomfortable, and that's what's cost him these last years at WrestleMania?
I'm loving this, man. I'm so happy that this match is happening. It's a match I didn't even know I wanted.
You and me both, brother. You and me both. And now it's officially about to happen. Oh, boy.
Both men at one.
Whew.
Let's go!
Here comes Pat McAfee. Probably for the last time if Gunther has his way.
Here's one thing I will say about Pat McAfee, and this is where the Ring General does have an edge up against Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, you see the career record right here, but here's the thing between Pat and Gunther. Pat has led his own faction as well as Gunther. Gunther with Imperium, Pat McAfee with Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. One group still technically kind of exists. The other one, not so much. That's the problem there. That he's not necessarily a leader. He kind of follows. A little bit. I think that might be to his detriment here because we know how good of a leader in the ring Gunther is. We know how good psychologically he is. Pat McAfee, he kind of proved that he's not as good of a leader as he should be.
And about to say, Michael Cole literally here is going to be as biased as he's ever been in his career because he wants Pat McAfee to win and shut Gunther up, lay him out. Michael Cole is officially unhinged as Wade Barrett is stoic.
And look at this, man. Look at this. Like, Barrett is like...
I mean, again, like I said, people may not understand what Michael Cole truly is. He is 110% damn passionate about WWE, this business, and Pat McAfee, his friend. So I can't blame the man here, as he's proven that more than ever, especially as of late.
So here's the interesting deal, and I do want to point this out. Normally we don't talk about other commentators on this, but I feel like it's important, especially for this match. Michael Cole outright said he's going to be biased. Wade Barrett said he's going to be the unbiased one. Michael Cole respected that. He is going to be the play-by-play guy, whereas Cole is going to be color. He literally just said that verbatim on commentary just now.
Look, I get called maybe 3 times in my virtual YouTube career across all things wrestling. I was not play-by-play. I was biased. But here, I am going to call it straight down the middle because I respect Pat McAfee for his drive, his passion, and what he brings to the ring. But I hugely respect Gunther for the pedigree of a wrestler that he is and why he calls this sport sacred.
Yes.
And it's so weird looking at Gunther right now walk towards the ring without a championship around his waist.
I swear it's very few times that has ever happened.
And of course, again, they have a job to do out there. Michael Cole knows that he has a job to do. I simply have a role that I do here on YouTube. But again, I am a fan, and I will always be a fan more of Gunther for the pedigree of professional wrestler that he is than Pat McAfee for the entertainer and the athlete that he is. But this is more than that. This is about appreciating what you are. This is about appreciating where you are. This is also about freedom to be who you are. Ever since Gunther attacked Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, they feel like they can't do their jobs to the fullest degree with freedom of speech. And that's what this really comes down to. This is a match about pride, nothing more than that. And right now, someone is going to be humbled or someone's going to be seriously hurt.
And I do want to point this out also, Noah, because, you know, you talk about that. There's a pattern going on with Gunther and how he treated Michael Cole and other commentators like Pat McAfee, as well as how Seth Rollins treated Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw. And keep this in mind, folks. When Paul Heyman was still with the Bloodline, one of his associates that he called up to help Roman Reigns retain the title at one point was that man and his group, the Reign General Gunther and Imperium. Could that be a factor? That's another thing Pat McAfee has to watch out for. He's got to have eyes in the back of his head tonight. And quite honestly, the only friends he's got is Wade Barrett and Michael Cole. They may have to be his eyes and ears here.
Yeah, Gunther right now with just treasured smile. And Pat McAfee, though, this is the first time we're also seeing Pat McAfee wrestle without a shirt. And that is one of the damnedest things you could do against the Reign General, who might have the most lethal chops in the business.
Yeah, exactly. Like he is here for a statement tonight. And you'll notice he's got those loose jeans tonight.
Now, let's just look at the tail of the tape here. We know that Gunther is the powerhouse here. He could definitely outpower Pat McAfee. What Pat McAfee has is a fearless nature and that background in the NFL that might make him quicker on his feet.
Yep. Former punter in the NFL, had a powerful boot. His legs is definitely going to be the strong point. If I'm Pat McAfee, that shit is what he needs to go for. He needs to go for leg kicks. He needs to go for body kicks. Use those legs to your advantage.
And again, a handful of defeats for the Reign General since being part of WWE. Only 4 men have actually beaten him. 2 men have beat him via submission. Those 2 men are Ilya Dragunov, NXT TakeOver 36, and of course, main event Jey Uso at WrestleMania 41. The only other 2 losses in Gunther's career was Braun Breaker and Rainbow Bright NXT and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 40.
And look at this, man. Michael Cole Defiant actually standing up as he's calling this.
But like he said, he's going to be biased. This is not about just calling a match or analyzing the capability of Gunther and the athleticism of his friend. This is about pride. This is about a statement.
Whoa.
In a way, Michael Cole is looking for revenge without lifting a finger.
Yeah, this is a brilliant strategy again there by Pat McAfee. Definitely got to be the Antonio Inoki to the Muhammad Ali of Gunther here. Duck, bob, and weave those chops. Duck, bob, and weave those strikes. And then try to counter it with some kicks. That's what Pat McAfee's strategy should be. He should be MMAing Gunther. You got to outstrike Gunther. If you can outstrike him and you can hit him where it hurts while you strike him, he may have a chance of winning this match here.
Front face lock now as Gunther takes Pat McAfee up and over, lands him on the apron. Now we'll see if we get a clean break here. And Gunther releases the hold. Gunther and McAfee face to face right now. And Gunther patting the head of Pat McAfee. Just mocking him. Oh, yeah, that's a big right by McAfee. Slingshot, lost his and runs him at the elbow. Jesus. And now McAfee going after the Reign General off the ropes. Oh, and taken down with a single chop.
Yeah, that was just not using smarts there. He was trying to outstrike Gunther with elbows and strikes. That was going to have him eat shit, and that's exactly what happened. Chop right to the chest, and now Gunther has got full control.
A clubbing shot to the back of McAfee and a stomp. Kick right to the shoulder and another kick right now as Gunther is having his way with Pat McAfee. Again, Gunther, such a slow, methodical wrestler.
Whoa,
and McAfee now with the jabs.
Oh, wow. That was brilliant, though. Yeah, look at that. He's actually jabbing the kidney area. Jabbing the kidney area is Pat McAfee.
And Pat McAfee also is going to show that he is also not going to be intimidated by Gunther, as he's trying to be good at his own game and gets taken down with a single chop again.
This is just having an ego trip. The ego's getting the best of McAfee here. He needs to be smart. He has to have a good strategy. I'm telling you, that's not smart here.
I don't think McAfee came into this with a strategy. I think Pat McAfee came into this purely on emotion at the red hand welt on McAfee's chest.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm just saying he should be Bruce Lee in this. You should channel your rage into strategy. And then when the opportunity presents itself, then release your rage. That's what he should be doing. Channeling it. Not immediately coming out of the gate with rage. That's Pat McAfee's downfall here so far.
I don't think Pat even knows where he is right now, as literally Gunther is chopping the life out of him.
Yeah, this is a one-sided beatdown, dude. This is not good.
And again, for those that have been following along so far, but if you're just tuning in, Jacob Fatu retained the United States Championship. Jeff Cobb is now in WWE. Apparently, so is Dakota. Lyra Valkyria retained in a phenomenal match against Becky Lynch, still the Women's Intercontinental Champion, but Becky tried to take her arm and her eye in the process. I'm sure things aren't done there, but I don't think Becky will be challenging for that title anytime soon, in my opinion. Doesn't deserve to. And Mysterio retained the Intercontinental Championship thanks to Chad Gable interference and Judgment Day shenanigans. PK kick by Pat McAfee here on our
Grande Americano.
Shut the fuck up, James. Fourth and fifth match for tonight, and Pat McAfee staring eye to eye with Gunther. The snapmare takedown. And big PK kick lining up the spine of Pat McAfee.
Yeah, you can see that. Like, he may be enraged, but he's also kind of frozen. Like, I don't know how to beat this guy. This is the problem. He should have came in with a strategy here instead of trying to just tough it out. Tough out Gunther's best offense is not the smartest strategy here.
This may be brought to you by the new Karate Kid, but Michael Cole, you are no Jackie Chan, and it's going to take more than a pep talk to get Pat McAfee to beat Gunther.
Oh, that was a vicious chop by Pat McAfee. I'm actually shocked.
Oh, and a single boot to Pat down.
Yeah, Andrew Martin would have been proud of that one. God rest his soul. Oh, my God.
Pat McAfee right now down, and Gunther is literally calling Michael Cole, come out of the ring to your friend.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, if you remember the Taz and Jerry Lawler matchup, JR did interfere by smashing a glass candy jar over Taz's head, and that didn't work out for him either. So this might be a bad strategy here for Gunther. I'm just pointing that out.
It's a good callback, and also he did that while Taz had Jerry Lawler in a sleeper hold.
Yes. So if I'm Gunther, if you're going to have a sleeper hold, do not be near the ropes. Is the moral of the story here?
I don't know if they have a jar of candy there. They do have monitors. Oh, and a big slap to the face by McAfee to Gunther. That won't Gunther out. German suplex to McAfee. McAfee and his fearless stupidity might be the only thing continuing to keep him alive in this match. This is just a one-sided beatdown right now. This is a statement by Gunther.
The offense, if you were judging this on scoring cards, is 90-10 to Gunther here.
I mean, Gunther can end this anytime he wants, in my opinion, right here, honestly. And the sleeper hold applied again, middle of the ring, and Pat McAfee might be going to sleep here.
Yeah, use those legs, McAfee. Wait a minute. Ooh, taking a page out of his own teammate, Pete Dunne's playbook, joint manipulation.
Oh, God. Looking for the rope ring and got covered a German suplex. And to your point, again, we talk about running mates. Of course, Pete Dunne and Walter fought for the NXT UK Championship at NXT TakeOver New York, where the Ring General started his historic run, 600 plus days as NXT UK champion.
Yep.
Okay, Gunther right now at this point knows that he is 100% in control here, but I do wonder how long he wants to literally prolong this punishment.
This is not going to be good. I'm telling you that right now. Uh-oh, look at this again.
That front face lock now. I don't think he wants to end this match. I think he literally wants to punish him. I think Gunther feels insulted that Pat McAfee is in the ring with him.
Jesus, dude. Oh, no. He's going to try to go for a back superplex. The Danielson special here.
That clubbing shot to the back right now as Gunther has Pat McAfee perched on the top rope.
Oh, no. He's going to go for German. He's going to go for German.
Yeah, and Pat McAfee's trying to hold on for dear life. Notice the way he's got the legs trapped, though, thankfully, between the ropes. Back elbow strikes. Trying to create separation here. Takes Gunther down. Now Pat McAfee trying to adjust his footing. McAfee on the top rope and moves up. Lands on his feet. Going out of the way, though. Not caught. German suplex. Pat McAfee lands on his feet. PK and Gunther. McAfee right now bringing that punching game into play.
Yeah, that was great. And another punch. Full punch right to the jaw.
Oh, got a 1 count.
Wow. That is scary for McAfee, dude.
And look at the Gunther right now, just literally humoring this. And again, another slap. The thing about Gunther, though, he disciplines himself as hard as his opponent.
Oh, man.
Overhead palm strike. And another shot by Gunther to Pat. Pat, though, still on his feet, refusing to back down.
Dude, he is not holding back, dude. He is chopping him just as hard as Gunther. I don't think I'd ever say that.
I didn't think Pat McAfee had this in him. I didn't think Pat McAfee had this type of fire in him. And right now, Gunther and Pat are exchanging bombs here.
Jesus.
And Gunther is covering up. Pat McAfee getting the exchange. Going off the ropes.
Oh, bro kick! Bro kick by Pat McAfee! Super kick by Pat McAfee! This is what I was talking about! Use your legs!
No, James!
Powerbomb!
Pat McAfee! And Michael Cole is literally losing his damn mind. Once again, all that offense by Pat McAfee snuffed out by one move by Gunther, who now traps McAfee in a full Austin crab, middle of the ring, nowhere to go.
Yeah, man, this is not good. If Pat McAfee started doing those
Cole, wait, Cole, what the hell? Michael Cole!
Oh my God! Pat McAfee being coached by Michael Cole! Michael Cole becoming a manager for Pat McAfee here! Oh, no!
And he might be the one that can stop this to save McAfee, because Pat McAfee right now is trapped in the middle of the ring, hammering elbows to the side of the head of McAfee.
This is not good.
This is a torture. This is a torture right now for McAfee. And Michael Cole is ringside, literally witnessing it.
No.
He's trying to take Michael Cole outside the ring.
This is not good. This is not good. He has tossed Michael Cole in here.
Come on now. You're supposed to be the integral competitor here. Michael Cole is not a wrestler.
Oh, my God. This is not good, dude. Michael Cole... but here's the thing. Michael Cole's giving people black eyes in the back.
This is not a match, though,
no, come on. Bro kick.
Patrick, Michael. It took another boot to the head.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And somehow Michael Cole again gets out unscathed for the moment. And Pat McAfee, O'Connor roll, the cover. Pushed off. 2 count only. As McAfee rolls to the apron where Michael Cole is. This is insane.
Yeah, dude, this is like, I don't even know
Michael
how to
Cole
feel
has
right
left
now.
the commentary booth, folks. I just want to put that out there. Deadlift German. Wait, McAfee.
Dude, Michael Cole channeling his 2011. He held the boot of Gunther. Do you remember the Miz and Jerry Lawler, Pepper's Farmer members? And it was a sleeper. It was sleeper by Pat McAfee.
He's got Gunther trapped middle of the ring. Gunther. Clothesline.
Clothesline from hell. Upside down goes Pat. And
that might be the last symphony on Pat McAfee, James.
Oh, this is not good, dude.
And the sleeper hold. Grapevine, middle of the ring. Pat McAfee is going to sleep. Nowhere to go. And Michael Cole has to watch on. Can't do nothing.
Yeah, it's over.
I don't think McAfee's trying. Stay in this fight. Staying alive. Body fully grapevine. Look at the discoloration McAfee said. Call it ref. He's dead practically. Blood of God.
Wait. He's still alive. He's still alive.
How the hell is McAfee still in this?
Look at this, man. He is getting up on his own 2 feet. Elbow to the gut. Another elbow.
This is unbelievable, but Gunther still maintains hold of the head.
Channeling the fan base here in St. Louis.
But take it down again.
Jesus, it's over. It's over. I don't know
it's
how
gotta be over.
Twice.
And the hand goes down.
That's
it. Gunther wins. Get Pat McAfee some medical attention and check on Michael Cole when it comes to his psyche.
Yeah, man, that was
a painful, methodical statement as Michael Cole just watched his friend suffer the worst punishment he's been in since being part of WWE.
Why are you in? Dude, Cole's fearless. Why the hell is he in the ring right now?
The fact that Cole and McAfee almost worked together to get a crooked pinfall on the Ring General Gunther, and Gunther isn't assaulting him. Michael Cole should be thankful.
Yeah, to be honest. And
Either way, Gunther once again
laugh.
Gunther proves why you don't insult the Ring General. But I almost wonder if Gunther has any sort of respect for Pat McAfee after that.
He might. Honestly, he might.
Well, Pat McAfee coming to consciousness, looking up at Gunther.
He might actually show some respect here. I'm actually shocked here.
Again, what's going for Gunther's mind was Pat McAfee in a way right. This has brought out a spirit that Gunther hasn't had in a long time. It's interesting face-to-face here in the middle of the ring with Gunther and Pat McAfee. Michael Cole. Again, the match is over and Gunther won. Business is done.
Wow.
Gunther with the handout. Wow.
He actually shows respect to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee after what was a hard-fought match by Pat.
I think it's more so the respect towards Pat McAfee. Michael Cole didn't do anything, to be fair, except get involved here to support his friend and nearly steal the win. Again, it was this full Boston Crab as he was dragged back to the middle of the ring. Gunther changed position almost into an STF, instead clubbing away the side of his head. And as Michael Cole was about to get powerbombed, McAfee again saved Cole, ate a boot for his troubles. This deadlift German from the image to the ring. Look at Michael Cole hold down the foot. Cole and McAfee almost pinned Gunther, and Gunther saw that firsthand afterwards. Yeah. As Pat went for the sleeper hold shortly after that, it was Gunther with this ridiculous short-range lariat. That was the death note on McAfee, and this was just the encore in the process. That long-term sleeper hold, to McAfee's credit, he continued to fight back. He found a way to get back to his feet one time, but he still went to sleep in the end, as he should have gone for the ropes.
He should have gone for the ropes. That's all he had to do was go for the ropes.
Well, either way, a tremendous effort by Pat McAfee in supporting his friend, and why he is standing in defeat. The entire St. Louis arena and the Ring General have a whole new respect, I feel, for Pat McAfee for what he did tonight in that WWE ring.
Yeah, you sure did. That was brilliant.
Try and catch our breath here after that freaking clinic. You almost thought that was an intense sparring session for Pat McAfee. I don't think Rick Rogers ever trained Pat McAfee that hard.
No, that was just a street fight almost in the ring.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, I would almost say he's worthy of being part of Ring Conf after that. That was a tremendous effort of heart and spirit.
Oh shoot, I meant to go to you. I am gonna go get myself a bathroom break before we get to our main event, folks.
Yeah, ironically enough, that's all that's left. Fair enough. Well, again, let's go ahead and take a look here what you folks said here in the comments, and definitely Safet. That was quite a unique exhibition, grudge exhibition to say the least, as Gunther got the win, and maybe he found respect for Pat McAfee as well. Curious to see what's next for Gunther, though, especially after this. Again, not with a champion anymore. Good Lord. Gunther sending a very painful message. Michael Gonzalez saying fun match. Safet saying a good match. And yes, I also agree. And literally, yeah, he took it like a man. He didn't back down. He stood toe-to-toe with the Ring General. And despite Michael Cole's involvement, nearly got a win in the process. Even attacked Gunther at his own game with the sleeper hold. You got to respect that. It was a commendable effort. Well, we'll see if Gunther cashes in on further confidence after that win soon enough, as we will also see here very soon the newest acquisition to WWE, take WWE's ring. On the same day, rise above the rest, seize the prize, get the win. Stay tuned, folks, for Worlds Collide, WWE and Money in the Bank, Saturday, June 7th, from Los Angeles, California. And, of course, we'll be covering that here at the Super Reliable Studios. And we got Michael Cole here back on commentary, getting himself together.
I'm good. But listen, I said this a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to let a guy like Gunther stop me from doing my job. And I've got to call one of the biggest main events.
And again, Michael Cole staying professional, saying he's not going to let somebody like Gunther or anybody stop him from doing his job. Again, Michael Cole, the hardest worker in WWE history, in my opinion. Definitely the most committed. Respect. Again, folks, there's still so much more to come. We got Money in the Bank, June 7th. Worlds Collide, WWE, also on June 7th. We got Night of Champions, of course, made official later on in the summer. And, of course, the biggest part of the summer, SummerSlam, coming in August. And, again, stay tuned after we finish Backlash. There'll be the Backlash post-show on the Peacock. And, of course, we'll have the Saturday shenanigans with the regular wrestling JJ Williams and a panel of guests and others to join in the fun, too. So please stay tuned with us here tonight at the Super Reliable Studios for all your Saturday shenanigans and further coverage as well. Well, James, again, man, it's been a wild night. We've seen all the titles retained. We saw Pat McAfee survive against Gunther in defeat. And now there's only one thing left, and it truly is for the final time. We have reached a point of no return. Look at the tail of the tape here, James. Both men debuted in 2002. 17 to 14 world championships, 9 to 6 other championships. Each man with 2 Royal Rumble wins, and each man with a Money in the Bank win. One man with a successful cash in. But you can throw all the statistics out the window tonight as we arrived truly for the last time. It's John Cena, Randy Orton for the undisputed WWE Championship. And one man will finally clinch the series at 6-5.
Amen to that. I can't wait to finally call this. This is going to be an end of an era here to see who the true GOAT is. Real quick, Noah, check your messages. I believe you may have the run sheet for shenanigans because I am not finding it for some reason.
I do. Yeah, I do. Why you asking?
All right, awesome. I was just making sure because you might have to promote it before we go off the air.
Oh, Jesus. Well, again, James,
I just saw that now. So
you talked about this a little bit verbatim as we look at the cold opener here. As we got the last real world champion now dropped out of nowhere with an RKO, the Raw after Mania again.
Yep. True that. It's gonna be the end of an era, dude. Warriors, Imagine Dragons. Nice.
That's a hell of a song for this video package. 2 men that start out in Ohio Valley Wrestling. 2 men that literally are a pedigree of legacy and a dynasty of this business. Both young men with a dream. One born into this business. The prototype created was the defiance of the other. We've literally watched both these men's careers parallel each other in a way. Randy Orton literally ushered in by Triple H an evolution of what a WWE superstar should be. Why John Cena decided to be a WWE superstar in what he wanted to be.
Dude, the history between these two, like, it's so nuts.
14 times Randy Orton has been WWE champion in a capacity. 17 times John Cena has been WWE champion. Raw, SmackDown, WrestleManias, Royal Rumbles, SummerSlams, pay-per-views, I Quit, Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage, TLC, Elimination Chambers. John Cena and Randy Orton have done it all identically, but only one man tonight will say that they are better than the other for one last time. And it truly is the final time. A match 25 years in the making. It's one last time. It's the end of a rivalry. John Cena, Randy Orton. And the difference here, James, more than anything else, one man wants to ruin wrestling forever. The other wants to save it.
Yeah.
Forever.
Which, did we ever think that was going to happen between the roles being reversed for Orton and Cena like this?
From a legend killer to a time saver. And Randy Orton, again, folks, is from St. Louis, Missouri. So this is not just for WWE. This is for his legacy. This is for his family. And this is for all of history. Buckle up. And I still cannot believe we live in a day and age as wrestling fans where John Cena is the villain and Randy Orton could be the hero.
Whew.
This is it.
Yeah, man. Massive, massive big fight feel. The final encounter. Randy
And the
Orton.
final
John
entrance
Cena. Yep.
in St. Louis.
Randy Chance here in St. Louis. This is not the first time John Cena has been the heel, at least with the crowd standing. Crowd goes nuts for the Viper.
Yeah, look at that decibel counter.
Yeah, that decibel counter, they are booming.
105 as they welcome in the Viper back home. Last time we saw Randy Orton in St. Louis, he took on Javon Evans from NXT, called him the future. But can Randy Orton save the future of professional wrestling as we know it?
It's going to be interesting, I'll tell you that right now.
And you gotta wonder what's going through the Viper's mind. This man, once known as a legend killer, looking to be WWE savior. Good Lord.
Crowd is singing along to Rev Theory's voices to 110 decibels.
That is the highest I have ever... 115!
Wow.
That is the highest I've ever heard Randy Orton's theme sung. That is insane right there.
And again, John Cena, not the first time he has come in here as a heel. As much as we want to pretend like that's the case, it is not.
I mean, to be fair, he's been a polarized figure his entire career. Some would say he's always been a heel. Now he's just being the heel he always wanted to be for himself. Again, we talked about the pedigree before. Randy Orton is a 10-time WWE champion, 4-time World Heavyweight, 1-time Intercontinental, 1-time United States, 4-time World Tag Team, 2013 Mr. Money in the Bank successful cash-in, and a 2-time Royal Rumble winner in 2009 and 2017.
This is true, and I will point this out, though. Randy Orton, you know, he's the babyface here because it is in St. Louis. John Cena has come into enemy territory before and gotten booed out of the building. You think back to ECW One Night Stand 05. Rob Van Dam, while from Battle Creek, Michigan, was the hometown hero in New York that night in the Manhattan Center when John Cena came in as WWE champion, and he held the title up with his head down. He did the same thing while coming in to Chicago. 2011, Money in the Bank. CM Punk was about to leave WWE for the first time, threatened to walk out of the company with that championship. And John Cena was the one defending the future of WWE. And you look at the roles being reversed here, where Randy Orton is playing the role of John Cena from all that time ago in 2011. And boy, how times have changed. John Cena threatening to leave with the WWE Championship now, just like CM Punk did over 14 years ago.
Yeah, but it's different here, James. John Cena doesn't want to leave with the title. He wants to leave with the history of WWE as we know it. In his opinion, he says he will ruin wrestling forever when he stops the timeline. Everybody will be frozen going forward all together, and they will have to start over. John Cena wants to end the WWE as we have seen it and take it all home with him because he believes he's the one that owns it.
My first WWE event with an RKO sign.
Ah, what is it funny?
That's awesome.
It is deafening to Savant's point in the Enterprise Center. Welcome home in the Viper.
Yeah, it is.
That is absolute insanity. And we're seeing again, it only takes one RKO, but will it take one RKO out of nowhere tonight for Randy Orton to save WWE as we know it and become a 15-time world champion? Again, folks, thank you all for tuning in as we get ready for our main event. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Support my friends, PayPal the Passions, Super Chat. You want to dictate the conversation. Stay tuned for the Saturday shenanigans. They will shortly follow this show once this event concludes. And again, we hope that you continue to follow us all here at Hebert Studios for your coverage across all things wrestling, WWE, NXT, AEW, TNA, ROH, primarily at the helm with so many other independent promotions as well. As we wait for John Cena coming to St. Louis for the final time.
Cena is about to get booed out of the building.
This might be louder boos than Unforgiven 2006 and ECW One Night Stand.
Another territory where Cena came in as the enemy against Edge.
Oh, yeah.
Toronto, Canada. Yep.
It's John Cena versus the entire WWE as we know it. And the general at the helm is the Viper, Randy Orton.
Cena sucks chants are way louder. And again, 2006, Unforgiven. He fought the other half of Rated RKO Edge in a very similar atmosphere.
Making Randy Orton wait. Last time these two men went one-on-one for a title was 2014. Keep that in mind.
And here comes John Cena.
No lights, no fireworks, no flash. One man, two words, 17-time world champion. The last time is now in St. Louis.
John Cena sucks chance.
It's so crazy with this entrance, I swear. The most basic entrance I've ever seen in my life.
He has his towel the last time.
Yeah, last time is now, James. Again, we talked about that timeline. Remember the countdown of dates since the Raw after WrestleMania. We are just 20 dates, a little over away from John Cena ruining professional wrestling as we know it if he succeeds tonight against Randy Orton.
Yeah, and look at this, man. Cena just holding that title to the back of his head, almost looking down in a way at the WWE Universe. Very reminiscent of One Night Stand 06.
81st televised world title match for John Cena in his illustrious career. 81 championship matches. Put that in perspective.
Yeah, exactly. John Cena is Big Match John for a reason. And I mean,
why JBL called him that after he won the title at WrestleMania 21.
And there's no doubt about it in my mind, man. Like, Cena coming in, he is in here for a purpose. It was scary.
A selfish purpose, but it might be a purpose that he feels he's vindicated in. Well, James, it's been a long damn time since you got to do this. So without further ado, let's go down Alicia Taylor for introductions before you know what you have to do.
Exactly. Although
Nightfall!
It's not the first. It hasn't been that long. I actually did it for GCW, but for a WWE event, yeah, it's been a very long time since I've done it there.
Yeah, no offense to GCW, but it doesn't get bigger than this right now, bruv.
Uh-huh.
Challenger, St. Louis, Missouri's own The Viper, the Apex Predator, former Legend Killer, Randy Orton going into his 2,466 match. 26 years in the game at 45 years of age.
There is so much history between these two men in the ring.
I would argue to say that no two men have defined each other more in WWE history than John Cena and Randy Orton for the length of time they've been involved in this business.
And look at this, turning his back on the WWE Universe.
Calls himself the GOAT, and many will argue against it, but you have a hard argument to go against it. Going into his 2,000th, 302nd match, the 17-time world champion who's been involved in this game for 25 years at 48 years of age. There is only one John Cena. Look at that death stare, that emotionless expression.
That is
big
a scary look.
Fight fucking feel. August 9th, 2001 to May 10th, 2025. James, do your fucking thing.
The champion, John Cena, the greatest of all time, Mr. 17 time, taking on Randy Orton, the Viper, the Apex Predator, the Legend Killer. Both men in their respective corners. Referee separating the both. Crowd on their damn feet. Referee calls for the bell, and here we go!
These men have defined every match in WWE history, whether it was TLC, 60-minute Iron Man, Money in the Bank, Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage, Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, Battle Royale, WrestleMania main events, and for the last time in their illustrious careers, they lock up in a WWE ring.
John Cena
That
and
hometown
Randy
energy
Orton.
right now, Randy Orton's got to be thriving off it, James.
Yeah, for sure. Randy Orton and Cena with their first collar and elbow tie-up, both evenly matched, not able to get a grapple in, going for another one here.
And again, we talk about this resentful side of John Cena and this renewed humble side of Randy Orton we've seen this year in WWE. The fact that John Cena has eclipsed Ric Flair's WWE record while Randy Orton was brought into WWE underneath Ric Flair and Triple H. 17,000 plus standing on their feet in full support of the Viper, Randy Orton.
They are in full force tonight. The Apex Predators on their feet. And there is a handshake by Cena, and Orton's like, I don't trust you. But Cena's like, okay.
And right now, John Cena and Randy Orton staring eye to eye, face to face. I mean, we see Randy Orton at times put out the hand, and John Cena didn't go for it. Oh, and a phone the eye, and John Cena immediately taking advantage.
I knew it.
I mean, again, mind games by John Cena against the Apex Predator. I'm not sure who's going to get the better of that here. Randy Orton with the poke to the eye to John Cena.
I will say, at least John Cena got his hair back.
And right now, John Cena, and we've got to also keep this in mind, James. Ever since John Cena won the WWE Undisputed Championship, we have not heard nor seen hide or tail of Cody Rhodes, a man that Randy Orton embraced when he returned to WWE, and a man that John Cena once embraced as the future, but said that he continued to be underwhelming and didn't do it the right way. He was phony.
Yeah, that's a very fair point, my friend. Cody Rhodes has not been heard of or seen from. And those two go back to the legacy days as well, Randy Orton and Cody. So you got to imagine Cody is rooting for his mentor here to win the championship.
And right now, those voices, and Randy Orton said, I'm not sure if he's quieting them down right now, or is he trying to hear them as clear as possible here tonight. The side headlock applied to John Cena right now as the Viper is holding down the champion here.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, folks, like, you know, John Cena knows the level of sadistic nature of Randy Orton. He has seen firsthand that man punt his own father in the head. So
let's keep in mind, one time Randy Orton tried to blow up John Cena with pyro fires from the stage during a 60-minute Iron Man match. I'm just saying.
Yes. I'm telling you guys, like, Orton knows how to get it done, and Cena knows that. Cena knows he will go down to those depths just to get it done. You know,
back in the 40 era when John Cena and Randy Orton fought over the undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and Randy Orton won that night, handcuffing John Cena to the ring ropes.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about again how well these two have matched each other, known each other, shaped each other their entire careers. And you wonder how much of that will come into play in that when it comes to those type of tricks. Or is it going to be just a wrestling contest? John Cena said himself he's going to ruin wrestling. And he's done it so far pretty much by doing practically nothing. You saw the underwhelmment at WrestleMania that John Cena exhibited, and he beat Cody Rhodes with it. And John Cena knows that he doesn't have to beat Randy Orton. He just has to leave with the championship. And right now, John Cena might really be looking to do that as he walks up the entranceway.
And Randy Orton ain't gonna have that happen.
Oh
Crushes
boy!
right after him. Grime line right to the back of the head.
Now, Bowser, you're not going to get away that easy from St. Louis, John Cena. You said you wanted to face Randy Orton at his best. You wanted to make sure there was no excuse. There will be no excuse tonight. Whoever wins and leaves with the undisputed WWE Championship.
Right,
I never
now
thought I
John
would see John
Cena.
Cena walk away from a fight. Oh, man!
Oh, that was a bait. That was a bait by John Cena. He knew. He knew, and now ground and pounding here.
I'm about to say, it's still a weird atmosphere with John Cena still lightly being cheered here for what he's doing. And Simon might be right. You are awful people, but again, people are people. And face first goes Randy Orton in the top turnbuckle.
Well, if you're to take a phrase from Jeff Meacham here, hurt people hurt people.
And that might be accurate. I can only imagine what Jeff Meacham's thinking right now, seeing again a man that he literally has called a friend for over a decade plus on this final run.
And now he's hearing the crowd channel on, and he's like, you don't get the full 10. Screw you. Oh,
into the midsection by Randy Orton. Now Randy Orton might be giving John Cena the full 10 for St. Louis here tonight. Tip for 10, move for move.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12.
Oh
boy. Oh, boy. Hey, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I guess he wanted to give it double time. The crowd chanting along in unison. There's a Randy Orton shirt guy, by the way, in front row. No surprise there.
By the way, not for nothing, but I mean, more punches to the head right there, and John Cena might get that bald spot back.
And Randy Orton now goes for the cover, lateral press, and gets a 2 count. And Randy knew that he was going to beat John Cena there. Let's be honest here. These men know what it's going to take to beat the other here tonight. It's going to take more than just one wrestling move or one finisher. And Randy Orton might be going to that place in his head with those methodical stomps.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now we're going to see, in Michael Cole's words, vintage Randy Orton stomp to the right leg now. Right to the Achilles.
And those are vicious stomps. We've seen Orton do that for years now.
I'm about to say, if it works, why break it? Stomp to the left hand now. And there's a stomp right now to all 4 appendages of John Cena. John Cena laying very prone in the ring.
And now going to go for it. Looks like a falling knee drop to follow up.
Oh!
Connects with it.
And across the head. And here's a cover again. Hook the far leg. Kick out by John at 2.
Shades of Barry O.
Going back to his dad again, talking about Randy Orton, second generation WWE superstar, the son of Cowboy Bob Orton. And again, we talked about, though, how Randy Orton, he's learned the trades of the game, literally from the game himself, Paul Triple H Levesque. And Randy Orton right now, of course, the youngest WWE World Heavyweight Champion who won against Chris Benoit up in Canada in those peach tights. Irish Whip reversal. John Cena, who won his first WWE Championship against JBL, WrestleMania 21. Now looking for a rear naked choke, a sleeper hold. And now jumping on the back of the Viper here.
Wow, John Cena pulling out a sleeper. I don't think I've seen this since his feud with Kurt Angle back in 2002, where he pulled out this move.
It was that match with Kurt Angle where John Cena arrived and said that he had the one tool needed of what it takes to be a main guy in WWE, ruthless aggression, that put John Cena on the map. Now Randy Orton with the rear naked choke, the sleeper hold, and we've seen the Viper go to this move plenty of times in his career.
Yep, headlock is a Randy Orton special, and there's not a lot of people that do a bulldog choke headlock better than the Viper Randy Orton.
You're not going to find 2 bigger egos in this business right now than John Cena and Randy Orton, being perfectly honest here. John Cena now trying to reverse it, front up the ropes again. And once again, Randy Orton captures John Cena. John Cena, though, throws Randy Orton off. And once again, both these men are transitioning the hold. Now hoisted up, then a backdrop suplex.
Vintage Randy Orton there.
It brings both men down now for the time being. John Cena, of course, who failed to cash in Money in the Bank successfully, while Randy Orton successfully cashing his Money in the Bank contract against Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, thanks to Triple H's help.
Crowd is loud tonight here in St. Louis.
It is one of those things, though. We talked about the history of WWE and the fact that Ric Flair held the record in WWE at 16. Many people were wondering if it would be ever be, and if John Cena should have been the guy. I think the jury is still up. Everyone wanted John Cena to still be the guy, while Randy Orton has still been that person here in WWE. And vintage John Cena with the shoulder blocks and the takedown.
Yep, Protoplex by the prototype as John Cena gets himself ready for a little 5-knuckle shuffle.
Is he actually going to give it to them?
Tells the crowd, you can't see me.
Mocking the WWE Universe, drops it on Randy Orton. Across the forehead. And we know what that sets up for without pumping the jorts.
Yeah, gonna go for the attitude adjustment, or in this case, since it's a heel scene at the FU, got countered. There's the clotheslines by Orton. Another clothesline by Orton.
And Randy Orton might be looking for that vintage. What? God!
Power slam.
I was waiting for that power slam.
Got all of it, the whole rotation, and he put everything into that power slam too.
And look at the position of John Cena on the apron in between the ropes.
Apron DDT incoming.
And the draping DDT. Oh, John Cena's counted it though.
Ooh, schoolboy.
Oh, and a 2 count.
That was brilliant. And now Cena going to go for STFU. Going for the STFU here.
Again, Randy Orton, though, trying to block it. Look at the way that Randy Orton has his wrists, though. At least blocking momentarily. It looks like John Cena's got mostly, and he doesn't have over the bridge of the nose, though. Not compromised the breathing or the vision of Randy Orton. Still, though, Randy Orton is carrying John Cena's body weight on his back.
Yeah, he is.
And right now, Randy perhaps trying to find his way to the ropes. John Cena realizes it. Looks to adjust position. Up kick though by Randy Orton, creates separation, and John Cena again pushed to the apron. And Randy Orton once again got John Cena hooked.
Uh-oh. Spike DDT hanging off the middle rope. Vintage Randy Orton.
But again, Randy Orton grabbing the small of the back. Let's not forget the history of injuries with both of these men, especially when it comes to Randy Orton's back, considering his finisher has been nothing more but a back bump.
Yeah, as well, and you think about his shoulder injuries in the past. He actually was out for a full year up until the War Games match where CM Punk made his epic return. Randy Orton in St. Louis made his, or in Chicago made his return. He was out for a long time. He has had a history of shoulder issues. He's looking for the RKO. And look at this.
Coiled. The Viper is coiled.
This will attack the head and neck of Cena in the past. He's been injured there many a time.
On his shoulders!
FU incoming! Oh! Counter into the RKO! Orton has a game plan here, and Cena now rolling to the ropes. Very smart here.
Out of nowhere, take a look at the replay here. The perfect transition out of the AA, hooking John Cena into the RKO, but is unable to follow up for the cover.
Yeah, both men definitely worse for wear out of that one. That's actually how Randy Orton won a tables match against John Cena. I believe that was on Monday Night Raw all those years ago.
Technically, John Cena still did his move, though, as Randy Orton fell on his back, so I'm not sure who got the worst of that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, John Cena definitely is trying to tough it out, but he has had a history of neck issues as well. Actually had a neck dislocation when he fought Dave Bautista at SummerSlam 2008. He actually was out for a few months as a result of that injury.
And both these men now answering in kind, squaring off, middle of the ring, overhead shots being thrown here. Randy Orton and John Cena for the final time, their 11th singles encounter in their illustrious careers, where these men have shared the ring with each other for over 90-plus matches.
Both men trading headbutts. You don't see that often from either one of these guys.
And two of the heaviest strikers in WWE. Many have said that John Cena can't wrestle. No one's ever said that about Randy Orton. But they are both pure brawlers when it comes to throwing bombs.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Oh! He got it! Recover! Oh, kick out two!
Tried to say FU to St. Louis, got nothing in return out of that. That was a close one for Randy Orton.
Again, that sudden shock, that sudden impact. Death Valley driver. And John Cena got 2.5 from it. About to
John
say, we've
Cena-
seen how many of those AAs drop men for championships.
Yeah, and keep in mind, he actually adopted that move from Brock Lesnar to take on the F5 back in Backlash 2003. His first ever championship match came on the losing end. That goes to the history of John Cena at Backlash events, that he has been Big Match John in his first full year of his career at Backlash 03. Not even a full year in.
The difference is John Cena's done it all by himself. Randy Orton has had help the entire way in his career. And the momentum now, and ducks underneath. John Cena off the ropes. The shoulder blocks again, trying to take down Randy Orton. Oh, RKO!
Out of nowhere by Randy Orton!
And John Cena's down, but again, John Cena rolls away to the apron, and Randy Orton's unable to go for a cover.
Yeah, he just hurt his shoulder. That's why. He hurt his shoulder bad. And look at Cena. He is looking dead to rights against Randy Orton. And I think Cena knows that Orton's hurt. And he is about to pick that shoulder apart.
Yeah, watch that left shoulder hit the canvas, to your point. That vicious RKO.
It was vicious enough that it hurt
shoulder injuries his entire career.
You know Cena was looking. He saw that. He saw him get hurt. I guarantee you Cena's going to adapt his game plan and attack that shoulder for the rest of the match.
Oh, and look at Randy Orton, though. He might have a different plan in mind. John Cena position, looking for the kick. And John Cena gets out of the way. Up on the shoulders again, John Cena. Another answer, jump Randy Orton. And the cover to retain. Kick out 2.5.
Oh, that was close again for Orton. If I'm John Cena, you know what I do? I take a page out of Lesnar's playbook. He may have to bust out a Kimura, especially on that bad shoulder. If he's able to lock that in, he might have it.
Again, John Cena dropping Randy Orton on that shoulder, on the surgery prep pack. Second AA this match. 2.5. Crowd still chanting firmly for the Viper, Randy Orton. It's going to take more than AA, clearly, to put down Randy Orton for the last time here tonight in St. Louis.
They're going to have to pull out all the stops from all their rivalries. And look at this, dude. Cena's about to go for the RKO. Cena's about to go for the RKO.
Mocking Randy Orton?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. There is no way. Wait a minute.
Oh, no. Cena's about to go for a punt kick.
Are you kidding me? Look at the eyes of John Cena like a madman. Whoa, Randy Orton gets out of the way. And once again, look at the RKO. Push my. Oh, no!
Oh, God. 3 down. John Cena going to possibly go for an attitude adjustment. FU coming.
Again, another AA. Ah, Cena again with a third AA.
And now that the referee is down, John Cena has a sinful look in his eye. This is not going to be good for the Viper.
And in the past, John Cena would have been the man to help the referee get back into the match.
John Cena telling the crowd to shush.
No, what I mean, again, he can do whatever he wants at this point to keep the title. There's no official.
Yep. He's telling Michael Cole and Wade Barrett, you can't see me. Gonna grab that championship.
Why you need to do this, John? Seriously. There's no point.
John Cena channeling his new attitude. Grabbing that title belt, maybe stalling a little bit too much, maybe being a little bit cocky here. RKO!
But again, there's no official. The official needs to get back in play.
Oh!
The cover. And the cover play. 1, 2. Randy's done it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. 2.999999999.
Randy Orton knew that was his best chance to win the WWE Championship.
This is not good for Orton, man. He has hit John Cena with everything so far. Everything.
RKOs, AAs, still not enough.
I'm telling you, man, Cena needs to pull out something from his old rivals. A spear from Edge, a Kimura lock by Lesnar, or an F5 from Brock Lesnar. Or a 5-star frostbust from Van Dam. He needs to bust something out that he has never busted out before, because this is the problem here. Oh, God.
You were talking about busting something out. How about the announce table?
Yep, I think we're about to see a back suplex by Randy Orton onto this thing.
Again, that may be a reinforced table, but it still hurts like hell.
Yep.
Probably worse than the other ones.
Netflix, what have you done?
Again, I don't know what Randy Orton's figured here. Referee trying to bring Randy Orton and John Cena back inside the ring. And now I should
no! Head
And the
first, referee!
He went head
Yes,
first to the ring steps.
Oh my God!
That Patton is out for good right now. Randy Orton just driven face first to the ring post. And now truly anything goes, the hell's going to break loose.
Yep. This is not going to be good for John Cena or Randy Orton. One of these guys is getting put through the table.
I'm about to say, I think John Cena thinks this is great for him because now he has free range to do whatever the hell he wants.
Again.
Yeah, but this time Chad Patton getting up from that. He hit the steel ring steps head first.
And look at that devious eye. He's staring a hole through Wade Barrett. We know that he's had some battles with Wade in the past as well.
But he also said he doesn't bury Town. He is Town. But again, he's the one that buried Wade Barrett's career. And the next
he did.
And hoisted up on the shoulders.
Oh,
and they
God.
announced him on plate. Randy Orton escapes, though. Hoist up John Cena on the shoulders.
No way.
Randy Orton with John. Attitude adjustment through the announce table.
Oh, my God. And the table didn't even break. John Cena, by the way, landed on his head and neck. The whole table collapses now. Cena just trying to escape this issue here.
I'm about to say, for those that don't know, that right end of the table is metal, by the way. Those ends are metal.
Yeah, dude, Cena got hurt. We saw what happened when J.D. McDonough tried to go for a moonsault and he overshot and smashed that table. He hit right on metal. John Cena, that's exactly what happened to him. He had an attitude adjustment right on the metal part of that table, and now Cena's in a world of trouble here. Oh, my God. He's thinking of going a spike DDT or maybe just planting his face into the table.
I'll say right now, Randy Orton's just trying to punish John Cena at this point. Someone check on Chad. He is literally not moving. Like, seriously.
Dude, if I am legitimately, if I am Randy Orton, I'm going for a spike DDT on that fucking thing. I don't know why he's not.
Right now, Randy Orton's just looking for further plunder here. Again, there's no referee right now. Anything goes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, what could be on Randy Orton's mind?
There is so much damn plunder. We're about to get another table brought into play.
Of course we are. And Randy Orton bringing another table out to your point as Michael Cole is just trying to organize his commentary area. Somehow did not lose his headset.
Yeah, I was about to say, Michael Cole, good luck. He's
already put John Cena for the hardest table at ringside. You see the laceration on John Cena's back.
Tossing that table
drag John Cena away from that table to the other table now. And John Cena right now drives Randy Orton face first in the top of that LED barricade. Now face first the steel ring steps.
Oh, no. Randy Orton, this ain't good. This ain't good. FUN coming again.
Nope. And again, once again, Randy Orton hoists up John Cena.
Oh, God.
Adjustment for the table.
He's using his own move against him. Jesus. Talking about insult to injury. And now getting a prime hydration refreshment is Randy Orton.
I mean, you got to stay hydrated after robbing a man for a table with their own finisher, I suppose.
I suppose so.
If you're lost count, by the way, folks, that's 2 AAs by Randy Orton and 2 AAs by John Cena in this match. And, of course, we've seen these men have all-out street fights and physical wars, as we talked about before. So this should be a surprise to nobody.
Yeah, that referee is out, man. He is not moved.
Yeah, we need Charles Robinson. We need another official out here, or these two might literally fight each other all night.
I believe the table has won, by the way.
The table is the WWE champion, the undisputed WWE champion, apparently.
Yes.
And another referee until another referee finally shows up here. Randy Orton's got free to do whatever the hell he wants. Once again, going back to that place, hearing those voices in his head. The Viper is coiled. John Cena to stagger. John Cena turns around. RKO!
Run all of it!
Get out!
The referee!
Get referee! Run down and count it! 1, 2,
Oh my God, another referee in play finally when the cover is being made. But maybe a second too late.
Yeah, the frustration coming out of the arena on that one. And John Cena again showing the resilience of why he is a 17-time world champion.
Randy Orton screaming in the new official. That was 3. That had to have been 3. Referee arguing it was 2. He tried to get there in time.
This match continues. John Cena is back to his feet. Randy right now talking to the official. John Cena championship in hand. And
oh no! Oh no!
Another RKO!
Oh my God! No!
Get another referee down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the love of God, can we get an official that can take a fucking bump? 7, 8.
Oh, Nick Aldis! Nick Aldis! What the hell? Nick Aldis!
A bunch of officials now are coming down to check on the referees.
Jamie Noble, all sorts of people here. Oh, God.
Well, now what the fuck we're gonna do?
No freaking clue. I have no freaking clue. It looks like Orton's trying to think here. Oh, no! Oh, no!
We've seen this before. Arguing Nick Aldis right now. Nick Aldis trying to tell Randy Orton there's not much they can do with the referees down. Randy's got to focus on John Cena. Randy should be the champion right now.
He should be the champion. Nick Aldis should have came down and just made RKO to Nick Aldis. I'm not surprised.
Randy Orton's got a kid.
Oh, my God.
Randy Orton has snapped. He's RKOing everybody. 3, 4 RKOs to WWE official. 5 RKOs. Jamie Noble wiped out. Everyone's been RKO'd tonight.
Yeah, Sean Daivari, Jamie Noble, Nick Aldis, every official just got laid out.
He has fucking lost it.
Oh, God, no.
Those voices are raging in his head, James.
Yeah, and he's about to punt the shit out of John Cena as a result.
Well, what good is that if he doesn't have a referee to count the decision?
Yeah, exactly. He just took out the entire people that could have put on that shirt and ref the match.
Randy Orton don't give a damn, I think, anymore about the championship. If John Cena is going to ruin wrestling, he'll stop John Cena from doing it without the championship.
Oh, dude, he's
one final punt for one last time, and R-Truth!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Get that fucking moron out of here!
I'm not surprised.
RKO!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
That stupid dumbass #1 fan! Oh, and a low blow right here by John Cena! The worst fucking face Historiano in the wrestling business! Fuck you, R-Truth! You damn moron!
John Cena saved because of R-Truth, and now Cena with the golden hand.
Again, this time takes Randy Orton down with the championship, turns him sideways. But there's no referee. You gotta be kidding me. The original referee chart pet coming back into play, crawling in the cover. Not like this. Are you fucking serious?
No
2,
way.
no, 3.
No!
John Cena retains.
Oh my God, no!
R-Truth, you are the biggest fucking moron in professional wrestling history.
That's not, yeah, R-Truth does not know who he's helping anymore. This is not the same John Cena that he supposedly grew up idolizing in his warped head.
I never thought in a million years I would see an ending like that to a WWE Championship match. You could have given me any other ending in the world. You could have given me The Rock. You could have given me that piss poor rapper Travis Scott. You could have given me anybody from John Cena's past, the most hated people in the business. You could have given me Hulk fucking Hogan for what it was worth, drunk off his ass. But no, you gave me fucked up R-Truth and that crooked bullshit of an end. Look at this. That referee got knocked sideways with the championship. We had 4 RKOs for 4 pinfall decisions, and Randy Orton was apoplectic as he took out the entire SmackDown official roster of authority figures. That's going to be another hefty fine probably too, as Nick has been RKO'd now for the 3rd time in his illustrious WWE career. Good grief.
Yeah, I think we're about to see a matchup between them sooner rather than later, by the way.
Freaking RKO spree, RKO frenzy. What a marathon of RKOs by Randy Orton. Good God. That was ridiculous. You literally called the name list, and as we're one punch away from saving WWE, the biggest fuck up in WWE history, R-Truth came in there to save somebody that he was a fan. This is why R-Truth should not be in the business. And again, a low blow by John Cena turns Randy Orton sideways with the championship.
Yeah.
Shotgun somehow gains consciousness from hitting the steel ring steps, crawls into the cover, longest 3 count ever in this fucking match, and John Cena fucking retains for the last time against Randy Orton.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to get some psychiatric evaluation finally for R-Truth, because again, that never should have happened. And look at this. Now Cena grabs a microphone.
Now, let's hear what he has to say, unfortunately. Bullshit. R-Truth should be fired.
I don't
need music.
I don't need music, he says.
What he needs is competition. Sure as hell don't need you. Drink it in, St. Louis. This is what the last real champion
looks like. Yep.
I mean, again, it's hard to argue at this point. Again, who's going to stop John Cena from ruining professional wrestling as we know it? But there's going to be a lot of backlash, I'm sure, for Randy Orton on Friday Night SmackDown, considering what he did to the SmackDown officials. But regardless, John Cena still holds the timeline of WWE in his hand as we know it.
Oh, and they're not done, by the way. And I don't think we're exactly done here. We're gonna stay.
If there's anything else that happens here, as we are officially beyond Backlash, and the post show will start here in a moment as John Cena goes to all 4 corners and tells the WWE Universe in his own subtle way, "Fuck you," as once again he wears the WWE Championship.
And Michael Cole, by the way, arguing with R-Truth, like, what the hell were you thinking?
I don't blame him, Art. If Michael Cole is an actual wrestler, to kick R-Truth in the head. Fuck R-Truth. He's the biggest conspiracy theory in WWE history than on Grande Americano.
And now he is getting booed like crazy by the fans here.
Well, can you blame him? That was a shite. That was a shite of a fucking match.
He's not done. He's not done either.
What the hell can he do? He already ruined St. Louis's homecoming for Randy Orton. And he beat Randy Orton for the last time. That's Randy Orton's last chance against John Cena. Period.
The crowd is booing Cena like even more vitriolic than they have.
And what's John Cena fate about this? Just taking it all in. Seriously.
Yeah, Cena looks... Look at the face of Cena.
Well, again, is he happy? Is he happy that he won? Is he happy that he's on his road to ruin wrestling still as we know it?
I don't think
He's
so.
Satisfied with the result?
I don't think so. Look at... he looks
That's
dead
a weird
inside.
face.
Yeah, like... Something ain't going right in the head of Cena, dude.
Do you think he's having second thoughts about what he's doing?
It looks like it.
I mean, is the WWE Championship really worth this?
Yeah, man. Like, he's...
I mean,
Thank you, Cena chance.
Well, in hindsight, I will say this. It's the last time we'll see John Cena in St. Louis. So, you hate the results now, but you got to respect the man's career.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that was a cheer we just heard from the audience here.
Well, again, that's the last time we'll see John Cena at Backlash. That's the last time we'll see John Cena in St. Louis. That's the last time we'll see John Cena versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
Man, the crowd made him second guess himself here.
I don't know if he's second guessing or he's just having a realization. Maybe being hated is actually the most love he ever needed. I don't know. Regardless, we'll follow up on this, folks, more as I'm sure we will as it continues. Again, John Cena, I think he's still hell bent on taking WWE history away from the WWE universe as we know it. But
the crowd is cheering again. The crowd is cheering again.
Well, you know what this means for John Cena. Why did he come back and get number 17? There's a purpose behind it, even if it's selfish. Regardless, John Cena is still the undisputed WWE Championship as Backlash has officially concluded. So with that being said, we thank all you for tuning into our coverage of Backlash. And James, the show started at 7, so guess what? It ended before 10. As far as I'm concerned, we got Saturday Shenanigans, I think, still regular time, 11 p.m. Standard Time. I'm not sure what we do at this point besides maybe just subtly talk about what just happened. I know that they got a Jackie Redman, the butthead idiot, and Big E there, but that was unique to say the least. I mean, let's go ahead and close this thing out maybe with a subtle Backlash recap, kind of like what me and Walter did with the last show that we did. So, again, we just saw John Cena win against Randy Orton for the final time in the last encounter. And again, it was the last time John Cena will be wrestling in St. Louis and at Backlash, and the last time he faced Randy Orton for a championship. I mean, so John Cena closure, I guess, regardless of how we got there, I'm not sure what to make of it.
Thank you, Walter, by the way. Sorry, I kind of stepped on your producing, but that's good. Why. That makes sense.
Yeah, about to say USC, of course. All
damn, I wish we were calling that, by the way, Walter, because I saw that card. Damn it.
Well, again, you and Walter will be back in the fight soon enough. And shout out to Rage Wrestling, Walter Cruz, and I hope that he's doing okay. Again, folks, please subscribe. So, I mean, again, James, we got 21 dates left, I think, for the last real WWE champion as we know it. I mean, at this point, he did put out a very clear message. He needs competition. What competition is there?
It's going to be interesting, because again, look at his face. You look at what he said. You look at what happened. I mean, there was so much that just happened. Yeah, overbooked mess.
It might be accurate.
Outside competition, maybe?
I mean, I know they just got the AAA acquisition, but John Cena has no history with anyone with AAA, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as history goes, he's made his history with everybody else. Well,
I mean, I know people threw out names during my Super Did thing. They threw out CM Punk. They threw out Roman Reigns. They threw out cuts. It almost feels like you would have to go to nostalgia. You would have to go back to people that know John Cena the most to see if they could beat him versus someone that's new. I mean, Braun Breaker, Joe Hendry. I mean, Joe Hendry has crossed the line as we saw at WrestleMania. So, I mean, there is that people want to see as well. Trick Williams is trying to beat everybody, it seems. And even John Cena and Trick Williams had that engagement in NXT about when you knew your time was now. I don't know. It's just one of those things right now that I just don't see anybody in WWE, not necessarily with enough of his aggression, but with enough to take this from John Cena.
Oh, who is the person with the history with John, Nick?
I'm about to say, AAA does have a superstar with history. Oh, really? I'd be love to know.
No.
We don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about Smell PO.
This freaking RKO
garage
was ridiculous. What a rampage.
Never mind. I was about to say. I don't even think he's with them anymore, by the way. I think
he was released. Thank Christ. He was released.
God. Yeah.
Again, of all people, it could have been a WWE fan. It was fucking R-Truth that ruined WWE as we know it. That fucking idiot.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing, too. Cena and Jay because of the Royal Rumble ending. Yep.
All right. No one gives a fuck about a cheap-ass Timu Super Bowl ring from a country redacted with an illogical political history. Fuck that shit. Give me something of relevancy. Saudi Arabia is nothing but a bloody, sucking leech on the WWE professional wrestling landscape.
As much as
What the fuck
I
about
hold on. As much as I agree with all of what you said, Noah, point taken. But what if they do put both titles on the line in that match, though?
Then you literally.
I'm just saying.
You make Jey Uso even more irrelevant. The fact that he got segued to Saturday Night's main event against the Maverick. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying it could happen, and you know you could see Uso's going to main event Saturday Night's main event, so there is at least that.
Yeah, I suppose
it depends on how they book his title reign up to that point. I guess we wait and see because there is that aspect that I didn't even think about. So.
I suppose that's true. Of course, we see the most world titles in history. John Cena holding the record at 17, up there in the top 5 with Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Triple H, and of course, Hulk Hogan, who of course had 12 world championships.
Yeah, but as far as we know, Walter, I'm just saying they could do it just because Cena challenges Jey. I'm just saying it could happen.
John Cena has no purpose. John Cena has no purpose to challenge Jey. It was not regarding the championship, in my opinion. Every one of the matches John Cena has left should be about the championship. He may have 20 dates, but not all of them are going to be about the championship being defended. It's going to be promos. But as far as I'm concerned, if he's competing on a pay-per-view, the championship should be on the line. And you know, as well as I do, they will not do champion versus champion, winner takes all, because that means Raw, the bigger money show on Netflix, would not have a title. It's the only reason Raw has a title, in case you forgot.
No, I get that. All I'm saying is, though, you have Jey and you do have Cena. Cena would he's not about breaking history at this point. He's about shattering it. So him winning the world title off of Jey, making him 18 as opposed to 17, just to really shatter that record. There's some merit there. There is some merit.
He's held the World Championship before, I'll give you that, but I just don't think that happens. Anyway, folks, John Cena is still the WWE Undisputed Champion. R-Truth should be fired, and Randy Orton got screwed in St. Louis, and I stand by that. Fucking R-Truth, you're a bigger moron than Toru Yano, and that's saying something.
Hey, listen, at least the Chain Gang group has finally come to fruition all these years later after I made the group.
Anyway, still coming up for the press room, Triple H and Fatu. We also will hear from Dominik Mysterio. Anyway, let's go ahead.
Just need JTG and Hunico. Come on, baby.
Oh, delay. This freaking idiot. About to say brand split, LOL. Brands don't matter, all right? But there's a reason why one's on Netflix and one's on USA. You're not going to leave one without a world championship. Okay?
That's fair. Well,
anyway. Crown Jewel is a farce. That's all it is. It's a farce.
So real quick,
in a different country. Freaking
real quick,
bowling nonsense. Give me a fucking break.
Hey, let's talk about something semi-happy. What we got on the run sheet before we end the air right at the top of the.
I'm about to say because we're going to talk more about Backlash results and fallout here. Again, just give you a recap. Lyra Valkyria retaining probably my match of the night. Phenomenal match with Becky Lynch, but Becky was pissed. And we also, of course, that Fatu retained the United States Championship against Damien Priest, Drew McIntyre, and LA Knight, with Jeff fucking Cobb showing up and being part of WWE. Apparently, it's supposed to go his bloodline. What the hell that come from? We also, of course, saw Dominik Mysterio retain the Intercontinental Championship against Penta thanks to Chad Gable's interference with that Grande Americano loaded mash. Shut the fuck up. We also saw Pat McAfee survive Gunther in defeat, but gain his respect. And we just saw Randy Orton lose against John Cena for the final time, still holding the WWE Undisputed Championship. But yes, as I'm supposed to now try and segue, close things out, so you all can go watch Aaron Britt's recap. So yeah, no DQ. Shout out to Boss Man. We appreciate him. Please stay tuned. We'll be back 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at the Super Reliable Studios for the shenanigans. I don't know what I'm going to start hosting or what. Jesus Christ.
Yes, you are.
Fuck me. I always got to do everything. Anyway, stay tuned. The lineup goes as follows. We're going to talk more about Backlash with those that didn't do the watch along like us. We're going to talk about Resurgence as well. Of course, that I did literally last night by myself. Sky Blue coming back home to Beach Break in Chicago, her hometown, and probably talk a little bit more about Beach Break. Zach Gowen going one-on-one with Ricochet. What the fuck? Also going to happen at Beach Break. And then you guys will, of course, be part of what might as well be the turmoil that will become what used to be Open Mic Night, as your super chat will determine any further topics that we may do from there. But in the meantime, you got an hour. Go watch Aaron's recap of WWE Backlash. Go grab a drink. Go grab a snack. Go get some rest. Go take a nap. Go to the bathroom if you need to. This has been our coverage of WWE Backlash. James, always a pleasure. For James Hebert, I'm Noah Foster. We'll see you in about an hour for the Saturday Shenanigans. Until then, fuck our truth. Make a positive impact in life. And if we don't see you later, have a good night. Cut the fucking feed. Fucking our truth, you goddamn moron!